Well, if you're going to catch this on the replay, first let me just say thanks for doing that. And two, we are happy, happy, happy that you're here. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share if you're new to us. Try to get a little mosquito candle, but I think this mosquito candle is no good no more. These stinking mosquito candles burn, the wicks burn down. I guess what you need to do is remelt them. I don't know. It's kind of like the wick goes out, but you don't melt all of the wax, so it's kind of crazy, I guess, but whatever. Man, it's a beautiful evening in my part of the world. We're going to wait a little bit until people get in here, and then we'll get excited about some things, all right? So be patient. I know I will be. It is warm, but it can definitely be warmer, or yeah, it could definitely be a lot hotter. Oh, man. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for the thumbs up. Don't forget that. I hope, I can't see that one yet. So when you pull in, just let me know that you're here. Say hi. I hope it's a beautiful evening where you are. We got a lot of craziness going on, to be honest, in our world. A lot of things happening that we got to figure out, or a lot of ifs, ands, or buts. A lot of variables that is happening. So it's a beautiful night. I watered the plants already. I got the plants watering. Ethan the goat. Hello, everybody. Thank you, all 21 of you, 35 of you, 55 of you guys for being here. If you guys would all hit that thumbs up button, whether you like me or not, I would appreciate it. So thank you for being here. How are you, Ethan? It's a beautiful, ooh, my stand's not very tight. Hang on. I don't want you guys to fall over. There we go. Doing pretty good. You know, it's been a busy day for us. It's a beautiful day here in America. It is about in the low 80s. There's a light breeze going. The sun is setting to the west behind some light clouds, you know, so it makes a very beautiful sunset as you've seen on the picture. And oh, thank you. Thank you, Luke. Appreciate that. You guys all give us a thumbs up. If you're new to us, please subscribe. I would appreciate that. Yeah, I have a lot of tropical shirts. I don't have enough. I need more, but I do have a couple hundred of them. I love them. I wear them, been wearing them for years. I found an old video of me on my last day of work. God, I guess 10 years ago, 10 and a half years, 11 years ago this August. Oh, hell. 11 years and a few days. And my last speech, I was wearing a tropical shirt. So that was interesting. But thank you for saying the nice shirt. Appreciate that. I think everybody, I have a philosophy, if anybody wants to know about tropical shirts. I'm also trying to watch my dog, Lily. She's a wiener dog, but she's been crippled, but she likes to hunt toads. I'm trying to figure out what she's doing in the middle of the yard. I think she spotted something. Oh, I was a college professor. I taught college and had a consulting business and stuff like that. So I was, I taught at a community college. So that's what I did. Yeah, for about 25 years. I was there for about 25 years. So when I retired due to health reasons, you know, every year what I did was I put on this very large, the largest conference in my state with the federal government and the state government. And we did it for years and years and years. And it was very successful, very good. But my last day technically was that day of the conference. So I did my last conference in August, and I knew I wasn't coming back for the fall semester, so I made the August thing my end date. So that's what I did. Loved the work. I didn't like a lot of the politics in higher ed. I think higher ed's kind of a joke, to be honest. But there's a lot of other great people I got to work with, Ethan, and that was cool. All the people I got to meet, all the traveling I got to do. And of course, let's not forget that it probably fed my ego because I was an expert in the subject. I was a subject matter expert. So, speech, yes, yeah. Ethan the Go, that's pretty cool. Lyle said hi, hi. Well, hello, Lyle. How are you? Good to see you. Apache Eagle says hello. Good to see y'all too. Thank you all for subscribing, liking, and sharing. You guys tell me where you're from. If you have any questions about where I'm from, do you have a YouTube channel? If you do, we can help promote that. If you got questions or you want to make comments, you want to bring up a topic, look, I am definitely known on my live streams for giving advice and explaining situations, and I'm happy to do it. Jeremy, man, my voice is acting up. Jeremy's in the house. Jeremy, thank you for being here. Thank you for the thumbs up. See, if everybody with that would just come in and for a minute or two would at least thumbs up, it would be great. You don't have to love me to thumbs me up. It just helps out the YouTube channel. It helps YouTube go, oh, people don't hate him. So, so it always helps, and comments help greatly. YouTube has this thing about the more people comment, man, the more they push out your live streams to people. So that's what I think is really cool. Yeah. But it can be interesting. But I'm happy to solve problems, answer questions, tell you lies. I can tell you stories. I can tell you lies. I'm more than happy to make stuff up as I go along. What do they say? A lot of people say I can bullshit with the best of them. So, but I usually don't do live streams on Wednesday nights because I just kind of take some time off during the week because we're always busy doing things and we like to take you on adventures, But today I was bored. The weather cooled down so I could sit outside. I like to be outside. My favorite thing is to be outside. It really is. I don't like being in a house. Pat's in the house. Says good evening. Pat, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. So I don't really like being inside. So if I can get an opportunity, like right now, it's beautiful weather, to come hang out outside, then I want to do that. And I thought, well, what better else to do than pop up a live stream and see who's all here. Pat, you doing good? Nice. Good to hear that. We're doing pretty good. We got a lot going on, Pat, to be honest. We got a lot of chaos we're working through right now. And my wife may have to fly back to the Philippines really quick, like in the next few days. So, because we have a family emergency in the Philippines. So, we got a lot of chaoticness. We got doctor's appointments coming up. If she has to go, she'll have to miss those. She'll have to miss mine. We got a wedding anniversary coming up in September. I don't think she'd be gone that long, but we don't know for sure when she's going. So she may go in a week. She may go tomorrow. She may go in 3 weeks. We don't know. Let me see if I can pronounce your name, my friend. Kuram. Hope that's close. It's still night here. Nice. Still night. What part of the world are you from, my friend? Thank you for being here. So we appreciate you being here. Dorcas, do go. So thank you for coming in. So yeah, and then of course, with all the money it's going to cost us to take this emergency trip to the Philippines, I was trying to plan a nice wedding anniversary, and I'm working on that. We're trying to save up money to move. Man, we got a lot of chaos going on right now. I mean, I'm just like crap. I don't know. We're back to being stuck in traffic. because we got, you got to spend money in the Philippines. The airline ticket's expensive. Then she's going to have money to operate on there. And then, of course, as you guys all know, more than likely Lorelai's going to have to dish out and pay a bunch of other people's bills in the Philippines, or pay for a funeral, So it's going to be very expensive for us. And, Lorelai's trying to save up for a very, very special gift for herself. And that may put a gigantic wrinkle in her desire to get her gift that she's been wanting all her life. And then, of course, it definitely puts a dent in my financial planning for the year. Because, yeah, you can easily drop $3,000 to $5,000, right, Pat? We don't know what airline tickets will be. We don't know when she's leaving or anything, but we can definitely lose, $5,000 on this trip. But I've told my wife that if you feel like you absolutely, there's a couple things I've told her. I've told her, I said, now look, if you're going to go there and you can't be of help, then why go? So if you can go there and be of some service, then okay, I get it. But if all you're doing is going there, it doesn't make sense. I would wait until the funeral, and then I would go over, stay around after the funeral to see what you can do to help. Because just going there and sitting around waiting for somebody to pass away, you can't really do anything. There's nothing to do. You can do that right here in America. So my wife totally gets that, totally understands that concept. But I've told her if she feels like it, that she needs to be there for the funeral, and all of that, then we'll make it happen however we need to. And that's all we can do, right? Part of the problem, and I've been telling people that's very frustrating, Pat, is it's really hard to get a straight answer out of the Philippines. They don't, as Americans, we are very direct. And we understand details. Jeremy, long flight? Yes, it is. It can be up to about a 34-hour trip. You can cut it down in the mid 26 hours range. But correct, the long leg is about 14 hours in the air. 14 hours in the air, one way. But part of the frustrating thing is you can't get a correct answer. You can't get a straight answer. Okay, what's wrong with the person? What about this? It's more drama being dragged out. It's more like, oh my God, and then you have half of the people that run away because they don't want to give any money. And they're like, oh my God, my aunt's going to die. I better run away and hide so I don't got to pay anything. But after she's dead, I'll come back and see if I can get something for free. And then, so that's happening. And then they look at people like myself and my wife and some other family members who are overseas as a bank, and not the person that's dying, but the people around them will take advantage of this situation and say, oh my God, we need $500. Oh, immediately. And they really don't, but they will lie to you just so they can get some free money. Jeremy says, holy smokes, yeah, it's a long flight. And what we have to do, we live in the center part of America. So we fly to Dallas-Fort Worth, or we leave out of Dallas-Fort Worth. We fly to Los Angeles. And usually, and what really pisses me off is usually when you get, how the flights work is, we leave Dallas, we get to LAX, and we have to wait 18 hours to catch the next plane. Because just the way they fold in and schedule, it's not like you can get off the plane and go over to another terminal, catch your Philippine plane, and fly to the Philippines. It doesn't work that way. Every time everybody's done this, there's like a big waiting period. Your hub is Atlanta? We've been to Atlanta, been through there multiple times. And then at LAX, you fly from LAX all the way to Cebu directly. And then if you want to go somewhere else in the Philippines behind Cebu, which is the second largest city, compared to second to Manila. Well, then what you do is you got to get more puddle jumpers, smaller planes with Air Asia or Air Pacific or whatever it's called will bounce you around in the smaller places. So the big frustrating thing is, and look, I have flown there from here to Chicago to Incheon, Korea, and then to the Philippines, and that's not horrible. But if you can get a almost direct flight, flying from here to Los Angeles and then LA to Cebu, it's good. It's better, but still a pain in the ass. And I've told my wife, I said, well, I'm not going to go because there's a couple of reasons I am not going. One, with all of my limitations, traveling is a challenge. So we have to work harder when I travel, right? So I've told her basically I would just slow you down. Why don't you go ahead if you're going to travel? Just do it. I'll stay home, take care of the dog. You'll probably be gone for 3 weeks, which is going to be really weird for me because Lorelai and I haven't been separated except for when I was in a coma ever since we got married. So that's going to be really weird. But I told her, I said, I think the best thing is just go by yourself because I would wind up slowing you down, getting in the way, and making your journey to get in and around Cebu harder. Because, she can grab taxis, hire drivers, and she can get in and around Cebu way better than me. Just because, I kind of got to take it slow and easy. So she can just do it, and she knows what she's doing, and she'll just be able to go faster. So I told her I really just believe the best thing is for her to go by herself. And I still think that. Now we're going to go back in 27, we hope. We've always planned to go back in the year 27 for a vacation. And, but this, this $5,000 expenditure is going to put a damper into, I hope not that. I mean, we got to figure out. So we were planning to take a trip in 26. So this emergency trip may kill that vacation for us in 26. A lot going on, a lot going on. And my wife wants to do a kind of a special, what do you call that, wedding anniversary. So I've been looking at we've done a lot of things. We've gone to Vegas. We've done cruises for our anniversary. We've done hot air balloon rides. So if anybody can think of anything that would be really cool for a wedding anniversary, let me know. I'm very interested to know what anybody would think about a wedding anniversary activity. So I'm working on that. Like I said, we've been hot air ballooning. That was really cool to do. We got a video on our YouTube channel about it. We've been to cruises, but we can't take a cruise because of all the time off that Lorelai's going to have to take, and it's just not going to work, right? So we got to find something that's easy to do over a weekend. We can't go scuba diving because we don't live by the ocean. So that's out of the question. We've been deep sea fishing numerous times. So I'm trying to figure out something that we can do. We do live close to Branson. We do live close to Tulsa. Somewhat close to Dallas. But we've been to all of the zoos. We've been to all the aquariums around us. There is a place called Top of the Rock in Branson, outside of Branson, Missouri. It's kind of like a resort built into a cave system. And they have 5-star dining and lodging and, sunset like this, you'd come out and eat. So I'm going to look into that and see how that might work. But if anybody has any suggestions, boy, let me know. I'm happy to listen. Happy to listen. We've been lucky enough to get to do a lot of different things, so it's kind of hard to think of something special to do. It just is. But I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. We don't have like anniversary parties. We have a lot of parties here, but we don't do that. The anniversary that we do is more kind of a private thing. You going to go on a cruise? We love cruises. We've been on 4 or 5. And I was planning one this year. I was for our wedding anniversary. And to be honest, for us, um, I just couldn't find one that made me really happy, that got me excited. So, which cruise are you going on, Jeremy? Which cruise? So I couldn't find one that went, yeah, because that we haven't already been on that we got excited about. What we are hoping to do next year is to go to the Mediterranean or Europe and take a cruise. That's what we've been that's why we didn't go on this winter or this fall for the wedding anniversary, because we thought, well, maybe we ought to save up and plan and try to take a European cruise or a Mediterranean cruise, which the wife really wants to do. Versus, we were going to be going to like the Cayman Islands and Jamaica, because we've already been down the west coast of Mexico, Belize, Honduras, Aruba. Aruba was great. Curacao was great. We've been to the DR. We've been to the Bahamas. We've been all of those things. World America, nice. MSC, good choice. I think MSC is a good choice. We've been on Carnival, but I've kind of gotten burned out on Carnival. So we've been looking at other brands, and I've been studying other brands. Because with all the drama that you see on Carnival cruise ships, it makes you not want to go. The fact that they're changing the loyalty program makes you not really want to go. Now I do know that the drama on the Carnival cruises are all really short cruises. And we were planning on an 7 to 8 day cruise. So it shouldn't be as bad. But Jeremy, let me ask you, where are you guys going? Gus is in the house. Good evening, David. How are you doing? I'm doing good, man. I went for my little bike ride. That girl got kind of weird and strange. So I got off of her live stream and went for a bike ride. I don't know what, cause her live just kind of popped up. So I jumped in, and she got kind of weird for me, Gus. So, but that's all right, So I went for my little bike ride. I'm trying to do a bike ride 3 or 4 nights a week. It's not strenuous because I have an e-bike, but I do get to pedal, but not real hard, so it's just a little bit of exercise. And, so I did that, came home, was bored, and I saw the sun setting here in my part of the country with some clouds, like in some places you might call it smog, but we don't have smog. It's just slightly overcast, so the sun was really pretty tonight. So I thought I'd come out, and the temperature dropped, so it was nice. Yeah, you like that? Jeremy says Eastern Caribbean. All right, see, we were going to I was looking at St. Thomas, St. Croix, the Virgin Islands, the Cayman Islands. And we were looking, but we couldn't, none of those were going to work for us time-wise. So even with Celebrity Cruise and NFC Cruise, all of that, I just couldn't find one that was perfect. So I settled on 2 that was almost perfect. And then I talked to Lorelai about it, the wife, and she's like, well, that's a lot of, and it was a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money this year. The airline tickets were pricey to fly from here to Florida, Miami. We've lived down by Port Canaveral, Florida, so we know that area really well. Orlando, Port Canaveral. So I looked at how much money we're going to be spending on this cruise, and she was definitely right. Look, we could use that money and be able to go on a European cruise. So I'm like, all right, we'll just kick back and wait then. Okay, you're going to be driving to the port? Are you leaving out of Miami or Port Canaveral? We've done both. It's nice. Easy in and out. I do recommend, if you probably know this, but I do recommend paying for a parking space if you're driving. Okay, Miami. So then you're down in Florida, I'm sure, right? Or Georgia, you're close. But I would definitely recommend paying the paid parking. That's what we've done. I think two of the cruises when we went out of like Galveston, Texas, we drove there because it's only a 9 hour drive. Spent the night and got on the ship, or draw. I can't remember. But I like the paid parking because we parked there and somebody came and picked us up and took us exactly where we needed to go. I didn't have to worry about anything else. So I booked the paid parking through the Carnival Cruise Line back in the day. It's been a long time. We usually now fly in. And then I simply, I go ahead and pay the transportation fee to get me from the airport to the ship. I don't mess around. I'm too old. I don't want to have to figure shit out. I want to get off the plane, go down to the Carnival port entry at the airport or the MSC location. I want to just show up, walk down there and say, hi, I'm here. Here's my stuff. And they go, great. Go sit over there for a few minutes and we'll get you to your ship. So, oh, good. That's good. I'm telling you, it's better. It is definitely better. But the older you get, it's kind of like the less fuss, the better. I know it may cost me a few dollars more, but I am big on the older I get. I'll cover the cost so I have less stress. And then it's like the paid parking. When we got back off the cruise ship, a little thing took us right back to our car. I mean, boom. Like, that's what we like. Because the parking lot was about a mile from the boat. So, otherwise we would have had to found some parking somewhere in Galveston, had to pay the money, hire a taxi, get us where we back and went, no. I just went, no. What? Pat says, my stepfather's sister died this afternoon. Pat, I am so sorry. What happened? Was this something that was coming, or is this a big surprise? Bare skin and bones, she lost a lot of weight, so maybe she had cancer. You know, okay. So it had been coming. So it's probably, I know a lot of people don't like this, but it's probably a good thing that she's not suffering anymore. I don't think people should. And I was in a coma, and I've been dead 4 times. And Lorelai and I had a long discussion about it. And yes, I am glad that I'm still alive, but I would have been happy to die then, because my coma was miserable. But it's good in a way. It was a surprise. Okay. Well, it could have been that much of a surprise if she was on a breathing machine. You mean like oxygen, or she was incubated? She had the tube down her throat. Because if you've been intubated, man, you're in trouble. I mean, that's what we're dealing with Lorelai's aunt. Her aunt's supposed to be in a coma right now, but we don't know the details. So we're trying to figure out both, what's going on. And look, and if she's in a coma and she's incubated, then she's gone. You okay, Lily? So she had both. All right. So did she have cancer or something, Pat? Was there something going on with her that led her to that point? Yeah. So she's been on oxygen, O2, for quite a while, right? But something must have happened, like an infection in her lungs, and that made her worse. And the doctor probably put her in the hospital and said, let's see if we can get you better in the hospital. And then she just went downhill from there. Jeremy says, nice to meet you. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate that. Thank you for the thumbs up and subscribing to the channel, Jeremy. I do hope you guys have a great time on your cruise. I love cruises. Is this your first cruise, by the way, Jeremy? I love cruises. I talk highly about cruises. Now, I'm not so excited about those, 2 and 3 day cruises at Carnival, because all hell breaks loose and it's more like a stinking, nightmare. Lungs collapsed. Okay. Yep. I knew a lady who, and I never knew this could happen, but I knew a lady about 10 years ago, her lungs detached which was really weird. They said, they detached from whatever they were attached to, and she died from that. Sarah, good to have you. Good to have you. I'm from Egypt. Welcome in from Egypt. Everybody said hello to our new friend Sarah. Thank you. Come. We love Egypt. It's on my bucket list of places to visit. So, how are you in Egypt? Yeah, it is very sad. It is sad. But Pat, and I know she was a good aunt to you, but I guess I look at death as kind of like a reward. Because no matter, one thing I tell people is like, and I know you're religious, so I know it's good in your world. But the one thing I tell people all the time is whether you're religious or not religious, either way, the body is in a better place because they're no longer suffering. The Dougster channel. Hey, Doug, how are you, buddy? Are you back home yet? It's August. What's happening, Dougster? Doug, say hello to everybody. Pat, everybody say hello to my good friend Dougster, who doesn't live too far from me. Are you back home? Oh, anytime, Pat. I think there's one of y'all's parties from your city happening this weekend that I think Lorelai's making me go to. So, the Siloam people, as we call them, somebody's having a birthday party from over there or something. I don't know. Pat saying hello to you, the Duckster. Duckster's been in the Philippines the last 2 months. Saturday afternoon, my friend. All right, is that when the party is or when you're going to be home? Because I think the party's Saturday afternoon that Lorelai's dragging me to. Gus in the house. Yeah, that's right. Gus was here. Gus was with me on another channel earlier with some weird, creepy lady. She has a lot of subscribers, and her thing popped up while I was sitting doing some work on the computer, so I always try to give support to Filipino channels, right? So I go over there, and I'm like, oh, all right, and she's trying to do laundry or something, just listening, and it got a little weird. So I went, well, I got to go take a bike ride. You'll be home around 10 p.m. on Saturday. All right. Well, I'm glad that you're coming home. I'm glad you're safe. I know you had a good time in the Philippines, hopefully not too good of a time. But are you excited to be home? I'm sure you are. My wife may have to make an emergency trip to the Philippines anytime now. We're just waiting to find out what's what, who's who, so to speak. I have heard Lilith channel. Lilith. I don't know that channel, Doug. Pat, I don't think I know that channel. Lilith. Is she one of the creepy women channels? But I was just there, I try to give support to other channels when I'm sitting at my desk trying to do some work. I can pop up a live stream for somebody and just sit and watch and make a few comments here and there and all of that. Well, I know that feeling, man. When we travel, the one thing that we hate is not having our bed. Oh, Bye on her channel? Okay. Yeah, I watch Bye a little bit here and there, but not so much. I think she's a sweet person, but it's kind of boring. Maybe people think I'm boring. I don't know. Just kind of not my cup of tea. But she's nothing wrong with her. Nothing wrong. I know as Dennis says, she likes to poach subscribers, and that's okay. I don't have a problem with people coming into the channel trying to get new people to come to their channels. I don't have a problem with that. But she's a good person. I don't know. I think she may be getting her hopes up about something that may burst her bubble down the road. But there's nothing wrong with her. She's not a dirty, slutty channel, so that's a good thing. But if I see her live, I try to go say hi. When I'm on my mobile devices, I don't do a lot of that. But when I'm on my desktop and I'm working in the office, I'm always able to pull it up and say hi. And I can run 5 or 6 live channels on my desktop at a time and say hi. Don't say long on her channel either. Well, I guess to be honest, I don't stay very long on any channel. I like the fishing channels. There's Miss Bai, we were talking about you a second ago. I don't stay on a lot of channels very long. Fishing channels I kind of watch. There's some other things that interest me. Some of the Philippine channels I watch. Good evening, young Bai. Hello. Ready to go with my friends. Marga, where are you going with your friend? We were just talking about you, young Miss Bai, about your channel and about being live and all that good stuff. Where are you going and why are you going? So I don't spend a lot of time. Some fishing channels, because I'm a fishing person, I like to watch. And I'll sit and watch and watch and watch and watch. But Jinsun, all right, nice. The Duckster channel says, hello, young Miss Bai, how are you? Good to see you. Has Henry bought his airline ticket to come see you yet? I know he was talking about buying a house the other day when I was on a live stream. Said he has it narrowed down to 2 different houses in Mississippi. So I didn't know if he got his ticket yet to come see you. But yeah, I just try to give support and help where I can. I don't mind people marketing their channels. I don't care. It's perfectly okay with people come to the channel and say, hey, I have a YouTube channel. You guys go check me out. I don't really care. That doesn't bother me any. I think it's just kind of the natural thing. He's very secretive and now wants to surprise me. Oh, all right. Interesting. All right. Pat says, well. All right, young Miss Bai, be careful, have a good time, enjoy yourself, be safe. Anytime, Miss Bai, you need help, just let us know. Thank you. Appreciate you coming in. Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way. I know you did that already. Stay blessed, Miss Bai. That's right. So there's a lot of really good channels, to be honest. But I just don't get a lot of time to sit and watch because I'm too busy trying to build my channel. I'm trying to figure out how to make videos. I'm trying how to get subscribers. We're approaching 4,000 subscribers, and it's a big deal. I wish we were approaching 10,000, but And I've told people, look, I would already be at 10,000 subscribers if everybody whoever subscribed to me, if their channel would have stuck, I would be at 10,000 subscribers. But instead, I'm 30 or 40 away from 4,000. Doug, how's your channel going? Have you been putting videos up or anything? What have you been doing? Tell us what you've been doing on your channel, Doug. You got anything coming out? You wait until you coming home? What are you doing? I know you've been traveling in the Philippines, having a good time. So I know that. But yeah, Lorelai may have to make an emergency trip to the Philippines. We're in the middle of this drama right now. Yeah, now when you watch TV, I watch a lot of science and history and a lot of crime. So, but I don't watch a lot of stuff on YouTube. I just don't. I don't. But also I'm always kind of researching things. I like to learn things. I'm always doing that. And if I feel like I spend too much time on the TV or on doing YouTube, I miss out on education. I've been on your channel about a year now, Brother Dave. You have. You've been a great supporter, Pat, and we appreciate that. That's why we sent you a tropical shirt, because we know how important you are to our channel, and we appreciate that. We wanted you to be a part of the Tropical Shirt Club. I got big news about tropical shirts, but I think I'm going to do it I got to get my head around my news before I announce my big news about tropical shirts. So I got to work on that a little bit. You haven't vlogged much in the Philippines because of the new rules. I understand that. Yep, about vlogging in the Philippines. I understand that. I do. It's been an honor to be with the channel. Well, I appreciate that, Pat. You know, it goes both ways. So, but did you take any videos? I know you haven't been vlogging, but, you know, I would at least take a whole bunch of videos so I could bring back home and edit and turn into videos, which aren't blogging, I guess. I don't know. Is it blogging? But, yeah, I'm with you. I mean, if Lorelai has to go, I'm not going to the Philippines this trip. But if she has to go back, I'm going to do a daily blog, I think, about what it's like not to have my wife here. So you guys will have to watch out for that if Lorelai goes to the Philippines. I figure I'll do something. I've made some notes on it, where my brain is thinking and where I might be able to go with it. So we'll have to wait and see how that turns out, but I'm thinking about that. Try to make it a little bit humorous, but the reality of when your wife abandons you, you know, type of thing. But, well, Doug, I'm glad you're happy to get home. Now, are you, I'm trying to, because I know there's haters out there, Doug. Are you ready to do the K1 when you get back home? But yeah, Lorelai has a family thing going on, and she may go over for 3 weeks. I don't know. She's already got it approved through her work. If she needs to go, she can go. But it's going to financially hurt us, of course. So that's the bummer. We had a friend today offer to loan us money for it, and I told him no. If I got to charge it on a credit card, I'll charge it on a credit card. You know, we'll take the cash out of the safe, whatever we got to do. Well, congratulations, Doug. I think that's great, man. You know, you never know how to say this. I tell people all the time, nothing about you, but I tell people all the time in general, you have no clue where somebody's been, so keep your mouth shut. You have no clue where somebody's been, where their shoes have been. You know, it's that old thing. What did they say? Until you walk a mile in my shoes, kiss my ass. Or maybe I added that last part. So I'm real big on that. Until you've walked a mile in my shoes, kiss my ass. So, oh man, but right, they've never walked the walk, they've never done, and or been through what you've been through, what you guys went through, right? So I tell people in general, you just don't know what conversations were had, what challenges were overcame, what discussions there was, what history there is, all of that. You don't know any of this. So the best thing you can do is just shut your mouth, mind your business. That's how I feel. Well, I almost killed myself. You like that phrase? Walk a mile in my shoes, kiss my ass. So, yeah, don't listen to people. You know, one thing I tell people, and I really believe this: we should never, ever let other people control what we do. Period. We shouldn't let people influence us. We got to be really careful about letting people influence us, because we got to understand what their agenda is by trying to influence you. And and look, I give a lot of advice, but you don't have to take it, but I give it. But I really don't have an agenda except for to talk. Like I taught college for 25 years. I was usually lecturing and talking and guidance. But I don't have a dog in your fight. It's not my fight, so I don't have a dog in it. But a lot of people think they do. They have a right, and that you should um, honor their opinion because of whatever. And it's not true. I think it's great to listen to people, listen to what everybody says, do your own data analysis, and then come up with a solution. That's what we have to do as people. We can't let other people's, especially their negative, and you know when somebody's giving you negative crap or not. There's a difference between somebody listening to something going, I think you know what to do. I think it's, you just do what's best for you, versus somebody saying, no, here's exactly what you should do. There's always an agenda behind things. Pat says, I was watching a video yesterday. Filipina said YouTubers, vloggers are lying. She said that that's why they changed the rules in the Philippines using Filipina for one thing, bribing. All right, so I'm trying to clarify, Pat. So you watched somebody yesterday, they were saying that the vloggers are lying about and that's why they're lying about the Philippines, and that's why they changed the rules. Now, sex, okay. Well, she's partly correct. There's a lot of these hate channels, a lot of these bad channels in the Philippines and other countries that have gotten into this habit of talking smack, like Johnny Somalia, that Russian kid who's in prison now. There are a lot of these channels that are tearing down the Philippines, are attacking the Philippines, making fun of the Philippines. Now, what I will say is, I don't think the Philippine government's going to go after the average day blogger, as long as they're not doing anything bad, right? The sex thing, the drugs, like some of these idiots. They're not going to get there. But the Philippine government has a tool in place that allows them the ability, just in case you have somebody who's causing a ruckus in the Philippines, to help kick them out and put them in jail. So that's what's happening. There's years ago, there was a lot of these young channels that was trying to show all the sexy girls and at the hotels stripped down into almost nothing, and those were on YouTube years ago. And a lot of it was sex orientated. How sex tourism works in the Philippines, which isn't interesting. There truly is sex tourism in the Philippines, no question. But I think it's exploded worldwide notoriety because of some of these bloggers who's over exaggerated that's what it is. But it happens without question. And both the expats and the Filipinos are at fault. So that happens. It's still happening. They can't stop that, just like in every country. But the bloggers have decided to focus in on that. And I've seen a couple of vloggers too that criticize the food, and the trash. And I've done that. I've said, look, I like the food, but I complain about how much trash there is in the Philippines, how much garbage there is. I've done that. And but I also try to talk positive. I also try to give a positive spin, but a reality. But a lot of these guys are just showing hate, 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 so that they can get likes. Because here's the sad thing. On YouTube, it doesn't seem like people want to hear anything good. They just want the clickbait that's bad. Hooker found dead in the street, whatever it may be. It's all about clickbait to get you to go watch. They don't, and Our society has gotten to the point where it's in the news. The news can't, and you know this has been going on for a long time. If the newspaper or the news stations printed a bunch of good news, nobody would watch it. They want to hear about the police chases and the car accidents and who died. And in the Philippines, it's the same way. These vloggers are pointing out, sometimes true and sometimes exaggerated, what happens in the Philippines. And some of them have really gone off the rails, like the Russian kid. And he went off the rails. The I can't remember his name for the life of me, but the kid in Mindanao who disappeared, who married the Muslim girl, remember? We did videos on him a while back, but I can't remember. He did the same thing. But that's what's happening, and that's why they've done this. And it will be enforced from time to time, but they're not looking at like Doug and me and you. They're looking at these guys that are causing trouble. The guys that are picking on Filipinas and Filipinos, slapping their food away, and saying, oh, it's just a joke, Those are the ones that nobody no longer wants in their country, including the Philippines. That genre of, hey, I'm going to be an asshole on YouTube in order to click views, I think, we, the viewers, have gotten numb to it. It's happened so much, it's not exciting anymore. I was reading a thing the other day about just that, how they talked about, look, the shock channels are no longer interesting. So they got to make it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's what's causing these people to get into legal trouble. Because look, we've seen all these idiots driving cars and crashing them and, doing all of that. We've seen all of this. We've seen them, dumping Jello in a pool. We've seen all the stupid stuff. So now they got to escalate it to where it's criminal. Joe and Jenny's Journey is in the house. Joe, how are you tonight, man? How are you? What's going on in your part of the world? So that's why Joe's saying hello to everybody. Thank you for the thumbs up. So that's kind of what's happening with the vlogger industry. If you're over there and you're not being a dickhead, but then again, you also got to have understanding, whatever I video record in the Philippines, when I bring it home, you can't do anything about it anyway. Now, if it's really, really horrible, now they may put me on the list where I can't enter the Philippines, but they can't stop me from showing pictures of the Philippines and on a beach and there's 10,000 people. They can't do that. Joe says you're not up to much. All right. How you feeling today, man? So that's how I think about that. So people like Doug, who's been there, if he made a bunch of videos, nobody's going to care. As long as he's not hurting the image of the Philippines and or making fun of the people and attacking the people. Some of these channels literally are doing shit that if they did it to me, they'd get their ass beat. They would never do it again to somebody else because I would break their necks. I would hurt them. So there's things that they do that is just, but they have to do this to lift the game because we're all so numb to their stupid shit and nobody cares anymore. Joe says, I've been better. Yeah, I understand, Joe. I hope you get feeling better. Are you going to be going to the hospital or the doctor anytime soon? So we have a situation ourselves, Joe, where Lorelai may have to pack up and head to the Philippines pretty quickly. We have some emergency going on in the Philippines. So we're going through this weird process of trying to figure things out, if she's going to go or not go, if she's needed, if she can do any good. So she may have to take off and go to the Philippines, which would be really weird for me. But if she has to do it, she has to do it. Saying here, yes. Yeah, I like some of the food channels, Pat. The travel channels are good. All right, Joe. All right. No worries. The food channels are cool. The travel channels are good. Now, for me, and I think I've told Joe this, For me, being married to a Filipina for as long as I have, for being to the Philippines as many times as I have, and living through a nightmare in the Philippines, I don't feel like there's much for me to learn about the Philippines because I've studied it, I've lived it and studied it personally. So I don't watch a lot of that in the Philippines because I've been there, done that. Dexter's channel says, I'm just here enjoying life. Almost all the Filipinos are friendly and lots of cute Filipinos with a smile. You got that right. So I'm just here soaking up the sun and the waves. Good, man. But you're right. They all smile. They'll talk to you. You know, I make sure to present my wedding ring, and that helps somewhat because even a fat old guy like me, sitting out by the pool while Lorelai's out shopping with her friends, you know, we'll get 5, 6, 7 different Filipinas coming up wanting to talk. So I tell people all the time, if you're single and you're interested, just go and hang out. Be nice, be polite, and you won't have any troubles. Very true, Doug says. Doug from Joe. I do an interview with Filipina, the livelihood there in the Philippines. Yeah, and I guess I've done that too, and I've talked to them and lived that kind of life. And I know it's different for every part of the Philippines. So I don't do right now, and Lorelai doesn't want to make a lot of videos talking about the Philippines either. So we don't talk a lot about the Philippines, even though I'm going to start if Lorelai goes back to the Philippines. So, you know, I don't know. For me, it's just kind of like I've been there, done that. I don't want to keep, and look, and I got a lot of channel friends that they just recycle the content. And I should do that, but I don't. I mean, I've talked about things, I could just recycle my content about the Philippines, my videos from the Philippines. And maybe I should do that. Maybe I should pull them all out, redo them, and recycle them. It's the same thing I did 10 years ago, or it's from 10 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 3 years ago, or 6 years ago about the Philippines. But I would just recycle it. Because I kind of feel like I've done said everything I can say about the Philippines. So I don't have anything much new to say, if that makes sense. Hello, Joe. Hello, Doug. Hello, Joe. Hello, Pat. So I don't know what you guys think about that, if that's me being a dickhead or what. But I've talked, all about the immigration stuff. We got lots of immigration videos, a lot of travel tips videos, a lot of videos about real life in the Philippines, a lot about money, dating. We've got over 1,000 videos out there. Now, granted, they haven't got the attention I wish they would have. And maybe it's time that I pull them out of the channel and kind of edit them slightly and put them right back on. I don't know. But that's kind of why we do videos about other things, not just the Philippines. We do a lot of live streams in different places. We talk about packages and shopping and this and that. Our Dallas trip, all of these things is what we do as a channel. So it's, I don't know, for me, the Philippines is a little boring of a topic, to be honest. But Pat, you've been there, you've done that yourself, and I know Doug has. And I know it can be really enjoyable to be there. But I can enjoy myself in Aruba just as much, Curacao, the Bahamas, Florida. To me, and I hate to be mean like this, but there's nothing special besides the people in the Philippines. Sure have, yeah. So, I mean, they got some nice beaches, yeah, but there's nice beaches in Florida, and they're cleaner. They got some good food. Yeah, they do. But there's some really good food in other places in the world, too. The people are good. I like how easily they smile and how easygoing they are and all of that. And that's a big plus. But other than that, I mean, once you've seen it and been there, for me, I've seen it and done it and been it. So I'm always looking for the next destination that I've never been to. Is kind of where I'm at on that. I like to go places I've never been, see things I've never seen. experience things I've never experienced. And it's kind of like I was talking to somebody about going to New Zealand. I think going to New Zealand would be great for a vacation. Going to see a real volcano up close, that would be cool. And the other thing is, I guess for some of us, like myself, I'm married to a Filipina. So I don't need to study the Philippine dating game. I'm happy to help people date in the Philippines, as you guys all know. And I'm happy to give dating advice and marriage advice, which I do a lot of, and I do it offline a lot too. But for me, I don't need to go sniff panties in the Philippines. It's going to be hot. Hot and dry. Hot and dry. We're talking about 90s and no rain. All week long through the weekend until next week. Right now the forecast is hot and dry. That's it. So when you get back to America, you won't have back to Arkansas, it'll be hot and dry. The good thing would be coming in at night. It'd be a little bit cooler. It'll be probably in the 70s when you get home at night. Unlike the Philippines, when you get home at night in the Philippines, it's 90 degrees and humid. So it's supposed to just be hot. Hot, hot, hot. And that's okay. But I like to teach about the dating game and about Filipinos, and about how they behave. And Doug knows. Doug has a long history with this. So we have a lot of great advice we can offer. But I don't want to, a couple of those channels are always trying to put pretty Filipinas on their channel to get people to come and check them out. That's how they built their channel. I don't like that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like, oh, dog, new trick. I don't like those type of channels. And I don't watch his channel. I'm just not me, man. I'm an outdoor person and food. That's right. That's right. I try not to exploit people. I probably do some, but I try not to. I know there's some good-looking women in my videos because they're in the background in a public place. But, I don't intentionally try to bait people in thinking they're going to get laid by going to my channel and that I can hook them up with a Filipina when they come to the Philippines. And there are channels that do that. That's the message they send, whether they say it verbally or they're just communicating it through images and body language. Like, hey, look, yeah, I'm going to interview this chick. You come over here, you get a hold of me, man, you give me a little money and I'll get you hooked up. I can get you somebody. So I just can't do that. I mean, we got friends that we're trying to, well, not anymore. We don't have anybody single right now. Well, we do have one single friend. But she's only 21. And she's looking for somebody about 30 or under living in America. Doug may know her. Dougster, you may know her. I don't know if you know her or not. Maybe you don't. But we're trying to find her somebody to date. But I don't know any more single Filipinas in the Philippines right now. Different strokes for different folks. You got it. You're right. And look, maybe I'm jealous because they found a niche and they got 10, 20, 30,000 subscribers and they're pulling in money. And I'm not. But I also got to kind of live with what my wife wants and what I want out of life. And I don't want to be too big of a sleaze bag. I don't want to be seen as too much of a sleaze bag, even though that might be how people see me. I don't want to do that. Now, I'm sure people think I'm bossy, I'm arrogant, I'm full of shit, and I get that. And I'm very direct, I'm very honest, and I'm very blunt. So I know a lot of people probably don't like our channel because I talk too much. And I tell people how it is, especially when, conversations come up. Pat says, I've been through a lot of funny things in the Philippines. I had 2 Filipino girls, nude bar girls, stripped naked, walked out on the sidewalk asking me to come. In the naked bar, she flashed me and I said, no, thank you, honey bunny. Not my cup of tea either. Nudie. Now, we all like a beautiful woman. We can't hide that. But we don't need a skanky woman. I don't think any of us like skanky women. in this group. None of my friends like skanky women. I'm getting a lot of channels trying to yell at me for my videos with children. I turn the comments off. All right, yeah. I never get anybody says anything on my channel, Joe, to be honest. Nobody's ever criticized me for children. And I have some children on mine because they're in the background. They happen to come by. I've never had anybody say a word to me about it. The weird thing is, even the trolls don't screw with me very much. They come in for a second and I bust them up and they go away. I like, and I tell everybody this, when it comes to trolls, let's use them as a teaching moment. And that's what I want to do. Once they realize I'm using them as a teaching moment, they go away. But I haven't had a lot of people complain anything about my videos, except for Brian, a Yank in the Philippines, who he complained because I made a video about this thing Lorelai and I got, this big computer screen. Blue Hawk's in the house. Hello, thank you, thank you, thank you. Blue Hawk says Filipino women are good dancers. They think they are. So we got one of these portable GPS units given to us because we do a lot of reviews, right? And Tony from a Yank in the Philippines, when we did the video, we were outside in the parking lot, and he thinks it was my address. And he gave me some shit about, oh, you just doxed yourself. These people are going to know where you live and all that crap. And I told him, I said, you know, what you don't understand, one, I don't care what you think. But two, what you really don't understand, if you want to know where I live, all you got to do is Google my happy ass. I'm all over the internet. Look at tax records in Arkansas. I'm everywhere. I am not hard to find. Now, I don't publish my address, but if you want to know where I live, you can find it pretty damn easy. So who cares? Doug says, I have a friend, very nice. Maybe he would be interested. I'll send you. Okay, great. Doug, that's great. She's 20, 21. She lives here. She lives here. She comes to our parties and things, and she would very much like to meet somebody. Nice girl. I mean, she's Blue Hawk. How are you? What's going on in your part of the world? It's a beautiful night in America, as you can see. The sun is going down. I got the fan on. I got the bug spray out. So it's all good. Lorelai's going to check in on us now. She knows that I'm doing a live stream, so watch, and she's going to pop in a second. So when she comes in, surprise her and say, hello, Lorelai. Well, that's great. Do they have a way to communicate, Pat? You know, if he has an email address or a Facebook or some way that they can communicate, I'll be happy to pass it on. You know, be a happy camper to pass it on. And that way, maybe they can start chatting and be friends, you know, and go from there. So, but, okay, all right, good. Well, we'll keep that in mind, Pat. We will. We'll work on that. So, yeah, you can make a new Facebook and not have to worry about the mom invading it. Yeah, so once they can communicate, yeah. Doug likes the food and the partying. We have a lot of parties. Lorelai, see, everybody, what I tell you. So, well, you've missed a bunch of parties this year, Doug. Oh my goodness, you're here every time I call. My son said she's beautiful. Oh, Pat's son likes Venice. Her name's Venice. Pat's son has been drooling over her. Woohoo! Got a mosquito biting me. So, you guys all say hello to Lorelai. What happened to your shirt? What do you mean what happened to my shirt? There's nothing wrong with my shirt. What do you mean what happened to my shirt? Hello, Lorelai. My son likes her. Good. Yeah, I think a lot of people would probably find her pretty. So, absolutely. If they can find a way to communicate, Pat. Hello, everybody. Lorelai says, I am at work. Close it. Close what? My shirt? Laura, what do you mean? You want me to open my shirt, Lorelai? Is that what you're saying? You want me to open my shirt? You perverted woman. Why are you looking at my chest? We're not that type of channel. Why are you looking at my chest? Man, Doug is saying hello to you, Lorelai. Doug's flying back home this weekend. Oh, look, this shirt has another button that needs to be sewn, Lorelai, so that's 3. You need to get at it. I'm just telling you, I hope that doesn't come off. So that one needs to be sewn, Lorelai. That's for you only. Sewing the shirt? Good. And Doug's coming home this weekend, he says. Hey, we got to raise money some way, Lorelai, and if I got to give them a little bit of dreaming, you know, American male dream type thing, I guess I'll do it. You know, I'm willing to sacrifice my body for the greater good, Lorelai. You know, if they're going to donate money to us so they can see my chest, well, I will sacrifice myself for that endeavor. Any news, Lorelai, or are you still in the analysis standpoint? But Joe's in the house, Lorelai. Everybody's here. You paid me already for that? Yeah, but I want the other people to pay us so that we can become rich and famous like Mr. Beast. You know, have his money. And then I could share that kind of money with everybody else. Ah, yeah, did you get a brand new house, Doug? Is that what that was on Facebook, Doug? Did you buy a new house or something? What's going on with that? I thought I saw something on Facebook. Only Uncle Bert hit likes when I said I might go home. Okay, so nobody else thinks you ought to come home? No, Doug is coming back home to America. He's getting a new house in America. So he's been there a couple of months sightseeing, hanging out with the kids, but he's coming home and I think he's getting a new house here in America, here in Arkansas. After the gift might be, maybe. Okay. Is it kind of in the same town where you were, or did you go to a different location? Yep, congratulations to you, Doug. It's outstanding. We saw pictures of it on Facebook, if that's the one. The kids will probably enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. The future wife will enjoy it because it's not the old house. But yeah, it looks good. I saw pictures of it. It looks good. But yeah, I was telling them, Lorelai, you may have to make an emergency trip to the Philippines. We just don't know for sure. So it's in Siloam. All right. Yeah, I wasn't for sure, but I figured you were staying in that part of the country. Didn't know for sure, but I figured that's what you were doing. Because the kids are ready probably when they get back to get ready to go back to school, right? School's starting up pretty soon when they get back. All right, Lorelai. Everybody say goodbye to the wife, Lorelai. She's going to go back to work. She's going to go back and earn that money for her honey. That's me, by the way. Make that money, honey. Make that money. Woohoo. Go get it, girl. Now I forgot what we were talking about, but that's all right. No, it's Doug has a good channel. He's working on it, growing it, you know. And there are good channels that catch on and do well, and but it's hard. Yeah, on the 12th. All right, all right. The 12th of September or August? Surely not the 12th of August. September? Man, I've been out on the loop so long. Doug says, goodbye to you, Miss Lorelai. We'll see you another time. We'll see you at one of the parties. Party, party, party. Always a party. Yeah, you missed our big tropical shirt party, which we do every year. We've been doing those. But to be honest, Doug, I would really like to move to southern Alabama. I'm tired of Arkansas. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I would really like to move to southern Arkansas. But we got to wait for the interest rates to drop and figure out Lorelai's career and blah, 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 and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. So I feel like we're stuck in traffic, is what I use the analogy. We can't go forward, we can't go backwards, we can't go left, we can't go right. August the 12th, that damn quick. Wow. Man, I've been out of the school loop a long time. I didn't realize August. Ugh. Man, they're going to hit the ground and go back to school immediately, aren't they? Wow. Are they ready for that, Doug? Are they ready to hit the ground and go boof? Yep. Foley, Alabama, Gulf Shores is what we like, and that's where we want to be. We want to be in the Gulf Shores region, all the way across to Florida, that whole peninsula of Foley, Alabama, all the way from Fairhope all the way over to Perito Bay in Florida, but Alabama. We were there on vacation earlier this year, but we came home a little house hunting or neighborhood hunting, so to speak. But I had to cut it short because my dog died on us while we were in Alabama. And so it kind of screwed up my whole plan and I couldn't function right. So we came home early. But yes, we like the Gulf Shores region very, very much. We want to move up like into Foley, Alabama. Ready for school? I bet you they are. Maybe they are. Maybe they're tired and they're ready to see their friends, eat American food, all of that stuff. If they, because they're in the Philippines with you, if I remember right, Doug? So how have they done in the Philippines? If they're in the Philippines, how have they done? Have they enjoyed it? Or are they bored and ready to go home? Me as a kid, after a week somewhere, I'm bored. I want to go home. I'm bored. I'm bored. When we leaving? Well, the fishing is great. Lorelai and I did some fishing, shore fishing, caught tons of fish. The other really good thing about that part of the world, what we really like and Filipinos really like, is there's a lot of fish markets. And you can go in and buy any fish that you want, right? That's caught in the local region and it's all fresh. It's like a butcher shop, right? Which is really cool. And we brought home some fish heads. We brought home a couple of red snapper fish heads and a couple of grouper fish heads, big ones, and put them in the freezer so Lorelai can boil them and cook them down and do whatever they do with them for the Filipino food. So and it was fairly cheap to do that. Brother David, have you and Lorelai eat the Texas Roadhouse in the Philippines? No, we've never been to the Roadhouse in the Philippines. We eat at the Roadhouse here in our town. We were there this weekend, believe it or not, Texas Roadhouse where we live. Lorelai likes it. She likes the rolls and the butter, the cinnamon butter. I find their food okay, but they don't have a lot on the menu that I actually like. They like it, but yeah, they are bored. Oh, I bet, because I would be the same way. I'd be the same way. Hell, I get bored as an adult being home for 10 minutes. If I don't have anything to do for 10 minutes, I'm bored. I want to go. I want to do. Yeah, but no, we've never eaten that in the Philippines. We were in Cebu region, and we ate a lot of mom and pop restaurants, which we kind of like. We did eat at like the Buffets 101 and the Viking buffets and all of those in the malls. But we liked, I think it was called AA barbecue or AAA barbecue. We really liked that one. You sit outside and eat, and it's fresh food, and so we really enjoyed those type of places in the Philippines, including Jollibee and Chowking. I told James Robbins the other day, he lives in California and he's close to a Chowking. I told him, I said, I've been craving empanadas. They're empanadas. And I told him, I said, maybe one of these days we can get you to go to Chowking. You can buy me 2 or 3 dozen, and then you can ship them to me real fast. I'll pay them, of course, and then I can freeze some of them and eat them over time, take them out and reheat them in the toaster oven. Because I really liked the empanadas at Chowking in the Philippines. I don't know if they're any good in America, but the ones in the Philippines were really, really, really good. I like Chowking. I like the dumplings and some of the other food. So, I never really had, I don't think I bitched and complained about the food in the Philippines. I bitched and complained about other things, but I don't think I bitched and complained about the food, just other things. I don't like big crowds, Pat. So when we'd go to Manga Inasal, I didn't like, one, I don't like the flavor of their chicken, but two, Manga Inasal is always jammed packed. It's noisy, it's loud, and it wasn't my favorite place to go. It just wasn't. Thank you, Pat, for doing that. Doug is a good buddy. You would like Doug if you met him in person. Doug doesn't live far from me, so he's somebody that I know personally. We've broke bread together, so I know Doug. Good guy. No matter what anybody says about Doug, he's a good guy. And don't believe anything people say about me. Doug is saying, well, thank you, Pat. We appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Doug, how many subscribers do you have now? Where are you at on your numbers? I'm almost to 4,000 subscribers. I'm trying hard to get there. We're about 30, 35 away, hitting 4,000. So I've been busting my butt doing live streams and hustling, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers. I got a feeling I'll get there by the end of the month. End of August, I'll have my 4,000 subscribers. Now, it doesn't really translate into much money. Somebody was asking me earlier, how much money do we make on YouTube? Well, we make enough to pay the internet bill every month, and that's it. And that's the honest truth. Barely enough to pay the internet bill. So with all the time and effort we put into YouTube, we're definitely not making a lot of money, period. Even with super chats and donations, it just doesn't we don't make a lot of money. That's why I want to show my hairy chest in hopes, some girls come along going, woohoo, or maybe some gay men. I don't care. As long as they got money, I don't care what they are. But YouTube's good. It's exciting. It's fun to do. It gives me my outlet. But man, I sure do wish I could make money on this. I wish I could get up to 10, 25, 100,000 subscribers. Because I know once you break the 50,000 subscriber mark, you can probably pull in a couple $1,000s a month. And I would really like that. That would change our life. Being able to, just $1,000 a month on YouTube would change our world. It would literally, financially, change our trajectory. It just would. But right now, I don't know what our internet bill is, maybe $50. We make about 50, $55 a month on YouTube. That's it. That's it. So it's not a great big money maker. I haven't either. I don't know if he shut his channel down when he went home. Because, he got in trouble a lot in the Philippines because he's running his mouth acting like a dickhead. So I don't know if he's doing it or not. I know his wife, Chrissy K, had her channel. I don't know if her channel is up and running. I don't know that either. I haven't seen him either. I saw Bud Brown the other day. I watched some of Bud Brown's videos because I like him. He got a new Russo, motor scooter type thing. Not a multi-cab, but a Russo. You guys all know what that is. He got a new one of those. But a lot of the older channels that were around years ago have gone. Like My Philippine Dreams, Ned. He doesn't really do anything anymore either because he has wife and kids and he's busy in his real life. So, I don't know what happened to 10K. You think he sold his channel? Well, I wouldn't doubt it. I don't know. I know he had well over 100,000 subscribers, right? Well, I don't know. I guess my question is, what? I guess my question is this: why would somebody buy somebody's YouTube channel? Because if I bought Tim K's YouTube channel, I'm really curious. What would I do with it? Because I'm not Tim K, and I don't have his pretty little wife to pimp out there on commercials. You know what I mean? Or to pimp out to, hey, look at my cute little wife. Come give me a super chat. What would I do? I don't know what people would do when they buy that channel. Are they buying all of the rights to the video and any revenue generated goes to them? You know what I mean? I mean, I've heard of people buying channels or in the past, but I just don't know why you would do it. Why it would be a good thing to buy a channel. I mean, because if I got on there and said, hey, I'm not Tim K, I'm David J, or David B, you know, they're going to go, well, I didn't subscribe to you. You know, I didn't, you know, I mean, if I bought all of his subscribers, you know, his 100,000 subscribers somehow, you know, maybe 10 or 15, I don't know, maybe out of 100,000, maybe 1,000 might subscribe to my channel. If I said, hey, you know, I bought y'all, you guys all need to subscribe to my Filipino American couple channel, they're not going to do that. So I just wonder financially, what's the motivation for something like that? I don't know that, because it's curious to me. Now I know a lot of people have bought subs. There's these not channels, but I don't know what you call them, but there's ways that you can buy subscribers. And I've known some YouTube channels that have made gigantic jumps. One day they're at 4,000, and a week later they're at 10,000. You know, because they went and bought 5,000 subs. But if they're not real subs, they're not going to be watching your stuff. The key is not how many subs you have, but how many people you get to watch your stuff. Because every time something's watched is how you generate ad revenue, right? So it's more important about getting people to watch and comment and do that. Probably because of his subs, maybe. I mean, I just don't know how that would work. I'll have to study that a little bit. I don't know. But look, now there's a ratio thing, right? Logically, the more subs you have, the better chance that you'll have more and more views on your videos. That's why we go after subs, because the more subs we have, it's a ratio game, right? Hopefully more people will go and watch the videos, and that generates ad revenue. So I get why you need more subs. One, it looks cool, it makes us feel good, but two, it has a, you know, like Pat. Pat may go and watch 5 or 10 of my other videos about, you know, dating in the Philippines or the immigration stuff. I get a lot of people that still watch a lot. I got videos that are you know, getting watched quite a bit every month, and they're 4 years old. So they're evergreen. They're ever producing for me. And that's what you need. You need people to keep watching your stuff. I will debate Doug, and everybody has a YouTube channel on here. Right now, I don't know if it's really a big deal or we're posting a lot of videos. Because YouTube, one, you know, unless you have a really big channel, people don't watch videos anymore. They're watching shorts and doing live streams. Even the regular guy said he hadn't heard anything about Tim K. Yeah, I don't doubt it. I think they came back to it, or they came to America, right? And I know he's on veterans disability. So, I don't know. Maybe he's growing up and he's just focusing on his kids. I don't know what he's doing. I never liked him, to be honest. Never liked him. I wouldn't want to hang out with him. There's a lot of things, I have to respect him because he was in the military and he built a great YouTube channel. But I don't like him. Unless he's hiding out for a while, he may be. I know he left because he got in a bunch of BS in the Philippines. You know, being a bully in the Philippines doesn't work. And a lot of YouTubers don't realize that. That's why they're going after them now with this new rule. We don't want you to come over here and bully the Philippines. And Tim was a bully sometimes. You could see his behavior was, you people need to get the F out of my way. I'm here. I'm bigger than you. Get out. Move. Come on. So you could see that in him. But he built a good channel. He had a lot of guys, chasing him to look at his wife. And, My Philippine Dreams had a good channel. Bud Brown has a good channel, but it's a totally different thing. It's just an old guy doing what old guys do. Doug says, me too. I don't like the attitude. Yes. Yeah. I know. I know. And I tell people, though, look, you got to be a real dickhead when you go to the place like the Philippines. If you're still being a dickhead in the Philippines, then you're really, really a dickhead. Now, I'm not saying you might not have a bad day as an American or a foreigner, but the people are nicer. They're more polite. They say please and thank you a lot of the times. And so, if you're really going to be a dick in the Philippines, I think it takes a lot to be a dick in the Philippines because it's easy. It's easier in the Philippines not to be a dick compared to America. So, I think he just liked doing that. And I can't say I'm perfect when I go in the Philippines by any stretch at all, especially when we were living there and things went to hell. I probably wasn't a very happy camper to people. But, and that's where they're going with this new vlogging thing, the rules about not showing people unless you get written permission, not showing children, which is a good thing. I mean, not showing the kids. The problem is, it's like the kids in the Philippines aren't shy about the camera. They're not freaked out like in America. Oh my God, you took my picture. But even the other day here in America, Lorelai and I were in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we were at an outdoor mall, and she was shopping, and so I was doing a pop-up live stream. And Lorelai thought it was funny because we were like this, right? My mobility scooter. She thought it was funny because we had little kids always trying to wave and go, in the back, which I don't care. But it was funny that the little kids thought it would be fun to come get on the live stream, and I can't stop them, and I wouldn't stop them and yell at them. As I've seen a lot of Tim K's channel over the years. A lot of people didn't like him when he went to some guy channel. From Norway, not sure if he was Germany. Wow. He was from Norway, wow. So what, he getting a big beef with him or something, Pat? Yeah, the one thing that we shouldn't, it's kind of like earlier today, Gus Sanders and I both stumbled upon a live stream because when I'm in my office doing nothing, oh, they are good friends. Okay. I got you. I see. Yeah, I know one guy from Norway. I can't remember his channel name right now, but I am surprised how many people I've known over the years in and around the Philippines, but now they're gone. And I'm trying, what part of my strategy is I'm trying to do this long term. I am retired, so I can see putting in the time and the effort because I have nothing better to do. I know I'm not happy with the way the channel's going, the success rate of the channel, but I hope if I just keep plugging away and stay committed to doing things on YouTube, like live streams and shorts and videos, and I just keep it up and keep it up and keep working on Facebook, that eventually maybe our channel will get to where it's producing something. I would like to think our channel has been helpful. If I guess a victory for me would be knowing that our channel does good. I guess that's a big thing for me. When I get my channel, I will have a lot of subscribers for all of us. Great. Outstanding. Grow our channel. Yeah. So it's just kind of interesting how things work, We can only do what we can do. We can only control what we can control. But we do our best, and I try that. I try hard to do my best. But that June bug is on my hat. Lily, come kill the June bug. So that's why I don't mind promoting other channels, helping other channels all I can, because I'm hoping it will come back to me. Now, what's really funny is there's two channels that I can think of that I helped out when they were very baby, just starting, and now their channels are way bigger than mine, which I think is funny. But that's because they've worked hard at it. They got a good product they're going. As long as they are nice to me when I come to their live streams and don't treat me like shit, I'm okay with the fact that one of them has 15, 16,000 subscribers, and the other one has 6,000 subscribers. And he's only been doing this for about a year. He's doing good though on his channel. As long as they recognize the fact that I was decent to them, I guess I'm okay with that. This is a good YouTube family here. It is. We have a lot of people that come in and give great advice, not only about America, because, I'm happy to give advice about America, but about the Philippines, what it takes to be an expat, what it takes to be a husband, a wife, all of these things. Lorelai, and you guys don't know, but I talk to a lot of people offline, off the internet, off YouTube, away from YouTube, about all kinds of things. I mean, all kinds of things. The man, the myth, the legend. Take my advice. I don't use it. I will take it. Dennis is in the house. Everybody's hello to Dennis. How are you, buddy? Well, we're back live again today. See, you can tell I'm wearing the same shirt, Dennis. I was live in the car and now I'm live outside. So, but I didn't want to wear a different shirt. Didn't want to wear a different shirt. So, but yeah, Dennis, if you didn't know, Lorelai may have to make an emergency trip back to the Philippines. We don't know yet. It's kind of like a 50-50 thing, whether she should go or not go, or wait until the funeral, blah, 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 blah. We're kind of in a mix there. Doug's channel says, the other guy I didn't like, the pro-life traveler. Pro-life traveler. He leaves his wife home and goes out and flirts with other Filipinos. I'm waiting to see if he gets canned. Well, that's pretty shitty. There's a lot of those. I mean, there's a channel out there. I think her channel is called Ruby Red or something like that. I don't know where it is now. Joe knows that channel. But, and even that channel, I don't know what the Alexis or something we were on earlier accidentally. Their husbands are okay with them shaking the bacon for money. I mean, I don't know, man. But there was a lot of guys that was, pimping out women in the Philippines, so to speak, softly. Soft pimping is what I call it. Nothing too overt, but basically, yeah. And there's some guys that are married in the Philippines that cheat on their wives all the time. And they had channels back in the day. A lot of those channels are gone now. But yeah, it happened a lot. Yeah, and I don't know his channel, Doug. I have to look it up later. The Pro-Life channel, Traveler. I don't know his channel. And there's some of them that are just creepy, and I think a lot of them are kind of going down the toilet. Like my channel is in the toilet. They're going down here with me. There's a couple British channels and Australian channels that are kind of just, creepy. And I think people are getting to the point where they want to watch the creepy stuff on TikTok. I don't really know. But, we had some interesting news, guys. Here's some interesting news I can share with you. I have a niece who's 27 or 28. She lives in Dallas. She's a professional horse trainer. She's a professional barrel racer. She's auditioned for American Idol, sent her tape in. Guess what? She got a message today that she gets to move to the next round and sing for a virtual lineup of judges. So they're going to do a virtual concert, virtual singing thing is the next step. Apparently then, if you get past that, you get to fly to California on your own money, and you get to sing in front of the judges next year, or this, whatever. Charles is eyeing back. I think he's cheating on his wife, brother. Oh, absolutely. Charles is back. Everybody say hello to Charles. Good to see you. Yeah, the pro-life channel is cheating on his wife. Yeah. So that was kind of exciting news to us. And if she makes it anywhere, I'll do some, sharing of her stuff. If you guys ever need a horse or you're horse trained or anything like that, I got an expert that knows how to do that. So, well, that was exciting to hear. My brother messaged me all excited. Look, she got a letter from American Idol saying you made it to the next level. Pat saying hello to you, Charles. He's really a cocky guy. He lives over in Dumageddon. I've seen him when he was in Dumageddon. All right. Let me see if I can Google his channel, Doug, real quick. Let me see. Get my search bar here. The pro-life traveler, he said. Yep, there he is. Well, he's definitely putting a lot of women on his thumbnails, huh? You subscribed to his channel last year? He's got a baby, it looks. Yeah, it looks like he got her pregnant over in the Philippines. How many, let me look, I don't know how many subs he has. Shit, 64,000 subs, so he's been doing something. Wow. Yeah, I've never seen his channel. Showing my wife the home, a real tragedy. My Filipino wife called me cheap, so I had to step up. His wife has big boobs, and he puts his wife on his channel a lot, so maybe that's why he's very successful, because she's wearing a lot of tank tops and bathing suits and has big boobs. So maybe that's why he's successful. Because I'm telling you, sex sells. I mean, that's why I show my hair. Yep, that's him. Yes, yes, Pat says. Charles says, I got the Millennium Falcon Lego set yesterday. That's cool. I was at Walmart the other day in Fayetteville, where the University of Arkansas is, and they have a whole shelf, a whole row at Walmart dedicated to all the Lego stuff. And I was looking at some of that, and I was shocked that some of those Lego models are $200 and $300 at Walmart. Shocked. So, But yeah, Doug, you and I can both, to build our channels, we can kind of, share the love with our little chesties and go, ooh, super chat me, baby. I'm going to do a video about having my pacemaker removed right there. I got video working on that. After we get that done later this year, I'm gonna do a video about having this removed and replaced. So, Charles, yeah, the one I got, Million Pound, is $800. Holy crap, Charles, you must be smoking with the money. Holy crap and butt farts. $800, Jesus. And I can see that at other locations. I was just shocked that Walmart was selling Lego sets that high, because it's Walmart, But the one I went to is right by a university, so their Walmart is designed for the college kids, and they have refrigerators, desks, chairs, beds. They're truly designed for the University of Arkansas. It's the one in Fayetteville, Doug. That's a lot of money, I will say, for sure. But I'm happy for you. I hope you enjoy it. Maybe, you can tell us when you're done how long it took you to get it done. I got another friend that is, my brother is actually certified Lego training master. But I got another friend that does Legos, and he says they're really not that hard to put together. You know, or at least the ones that he's done. He's like, ah, you know, they're really not that hard. You just go step by step, and boom, 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 you're done. Yeah, the one in Fayetteville, Doug, pretty cool. But it's designed for the college kids, and they have a good clearance section a lot of times there. You've got to remember, us people like me are cheap, and we need clearance aisles, and so we go hunting clearances wherever we go. That's just what way it is. We're poor. My poor Lily, my dog Lily, she's chasing all of the June bugs, and I don't think she's happy because the June bugs are faster than her, and so they're starting to. I think she's no, back up, Lily, back up. So she's a little skittish because the June bugs are bumping into her, and she's like, "Holy shit, I'm under attack," you know. Not hard at all. I am a quarter way done with the Millennium Falcon. Nice. All right. So I guess my question is this, because I don't do Legos, I don't know much about them. But if they're easy to do, then why do people buy them? You know what I mean? I would think you would want it to be more challenging. There's nothing wrong with being cheap. Well, we're cheap. We are indeed cheap. Harold Boulder. I don't know that channel either, but let me look it up real quick while we're still here. I'll look it up. I almost had a bug in my nose. Oh, Boulder from India. The guy from India looks like. Or creep. Oh, somebody's calling him a creep. Looks like he's done a lot of traveling. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know him, to be honest. And you know, maybe to be honest, to grow my channel, I need to go be friends with some of these people that have 15 million. Oh, this guy has 2,380,000, 2 million, over 2 million subscribers. But here's what I know. Those channels are too big. They're not going to help anybody. They're making too much money, and they don't care about little channels like ours. But I've never seen this guy, but he looks like he travels all over the world. Bangkok. Looks like he's hanging out with a lady boy. People don't like him. There's videos about that he's a creep, if you look at it. So I won't subscribe to him. One, he has too many subscribers already. He doesn't need mine. He doesn't need my subscription. Pat's asking if you know him, Doug, if you know who he is. Yeah, I didn't know him. I don't know him, you know. Here, while I'm here, let me Google Tim K's channel. See what's going on with it. Charles says, once you're done with some Legos, they're kind of interactive. You can take them apart off and on and look inside. Okay, all right. Okay. Let me see if I can find Tim McKay channel. But I got a brother who is certified as a master Lego trainer in business. They use Legos for team building and coaching. So I Googled Tim's. I don't see his channel. I see a lot of videos about his channel, but I don't see his channel, to be honest, guys. maybe it's not there anymore. Because when I pull it up on YouTube, I search Tim K channel, um, Mogum, I've never heard of that one, is making a video about him. Philippine Dream Filipina comes up. What happened to Tim K? All things possible. This is by Philly in the Philippines. Brian. I think his name's Brian. I don't watch him too much either, but I don't think it's a bad channel. But he's talking about, he has 17,000 views on it. Grumpy Brit in the Philippines is talking about Tim K and the drama. Milestone View is talking about him. Money Matters is talking about him. Andy Omar, which I don't like Andy Omar. He had a big beef with Tim K about their military service. But there is no Tim K channel anymore. Ace Bachelor Cool is talking about the way it all ends for Tim K in the Philippines. David, I met a nice vlogger, and check out Joe Go Wonder. Very cool guy. All right, let me Google him. If you recommend him, I'm in. Let me Google him. Doug, hang on, everybody. Joe Go Wonder. Channel. All right, I see him. He's got 13,000 subscribers. I will check him out, man. All right, I'm gonna check. He's on my list to go back because I want to do it the right way. I want to subscribe to him the right way. Our fox finding life is back from New Zealand. How are you, my friend? Tim K sold his channel. Who did he sell it to, and why did he sell it? Do you know? Because I guess me being dumb, I don't know what the benefit of selling it is. What, can you elaborate on why you would sell your channel, or how that would work, or who would buy it and for what reason? Because I don't, you can't make this can you make the subscribers be, I don't know, can you transfer subscribers? I mean, as I was saying earlier, if I bought Tim K's channel, or somebody bought my channel, it doesn't mean the people follow me would follow him, vice versa. Well, Tim K, I think, got in a lot of heat and problems in the Philippines, and he knew it, and he made a lot of money while he was there, but he got in some trouble, and he came back to America. But I never liked him. I mean, I respected the fact that he grew a very big channel, and he was in the military, so I think you got to give him some respect. But I didn't like him. I didn't like that Andy Omar guy at all. Big Craig in the house. Craig Parrish all the way from the great land of Australia. How are you, buddy? Good evening to you. Everybody say hello to Craig. Yeah, so I'm kind of curious about how would you sell your channel? Would anybody buy mine? Can I get some money for mine? How much? And could I get I'm e-begging for $5 million. Could I get $5 million for my channel? Could I do that? I need that so I could buy my wife a house, guys. Remember, my only goal in life is to buy Lorelei a house. And I need you guys to give me money so I can buy Lorelei a house. That's my e-begging. But, wow, I wonder if I could sell my channel. How do you sell a channel? I advertise it on Facebook, YouTube channel for sale. I just wonder how it would work. Craig, how you feeling today? You been busy today? Well, your day is starting, I think, right? Yeah. You got a big day ahead of you? So I find that interesting. But yeah, Doug, I would definitely check out this guy. If you said he's good, and you met him in person and you liked him, I'll check him out and I'll message him and tell him I ran into you and you recommended that you and I are buddies and all of that stuff. I'll message him. Fox says, just better things to do. Chrissy has a channel. Yeah, Chrissy K has a channel. There's a website to buy and sell channels. I did not know that, Fox. Yeah, I knew Chrissy started her own channel, and was making money off of that because guys want to oogle her, you know, you know. But Tim K did the same thing when he started out. He flatly, and I saw him on one live stream years ago, where he says, "Look, you guys need to do better in my super chat. I'm going to go get my wife, and my wife's going to come out here, and I'm going to show her off, and you guys are going to up the super chats." And it did, because she was a cute girl. I don't know what she looks like now, but back then when she was a kid, when he married her, she was a really cute little girl, a teenage girl. And a lot of the dirty, crazy men would get on his live streams and start throwing money at him because to keep his wife on the live stream. Grumpy, a lot of bullshit to deal with in the last few days. Nothing is simple anymore. I understand that, Craig. Says here Tim Hay didn't sell his channel. Yes, that's how life works. Well, Craig, I'm sorry to hear that, but we're in a quandary. Lorelai may have to make an emergency trip back to the Philippines or to the Philippines. So right now we're kind of going through that process of whether she's going to go, whether she needs to go, whether she can be of any help, all of this mess. So we don't know what we're doing. She is a nice girl, Doug. I agree. And she's cute and she has a great smile. So, and I think she is a nice girl, a good girl. But I didn't like the fact that Tim pimped his wife. I would never do that to Lorelai. That's what it says, Brother David. It says where? Like on the internet? Like on Google? So, but where is his website? Sorry, where is his YouTube channel, Pat? Can you find it? I can't find it. Did he just turn it off then? Which doesn't make any sense. Because even if you didn't make any new videos, if you got a bunch of videos out there, like we do, we have over 1,000 videos. They get watched continuously, right, over and over and over. And so a big channel like his would have enough to generate income without him doing anything. It could generate him some monthly income and he wouldn't do anything. Yeah, we're in that process. She's in a coma, they think. The problem, Craig, is we can't get a straight answer from the Philippines. And that pisses me off. I can't get a straight answer from anybody. It's too much drama, not enough details. Too much drama. So we're in the process of trying to cut through the drama, the bullshit in the Philippines, and find out what's really happening. I subscribed to his last year. All right. Yeah, well, I can't find it now. It's not on the YouTube search, Tim K channel. I don't think I was ever a subscriber to him. He did sell it. Brian, Philly in the Philippines, showed his new name and everything. All right. So I know Brian did something, a thing about him. So he sold it and it has a new name. The name changed. Well, I wonder what it changed to. And the other thing is, how does that work? Does he get all the videos? Does the new buyer, get to own all of the videos? You know what I mean? It's like if somebody bought my channel, would they get ownership of all the videos we've done? Selling a YouTube channel involves finding a buyer, determining the channel's value, and legally transferring ownership. It can be sold on a platform called Flippa. Okay. Tim K, get what you sold. Yes. Well, he probably made a shitload of money having the channel, then he sold it for a shitload of money. Depends on the agreement. Well, I'm going to figure out later this week what my channel's worth. It says here how to evaluate your channel. Mine will probably come back $10. Let me ask the internet, what is the new name for Tim K YouTube channel. And maybe it'll come up on the internet. Huh. There's an article on Reddit about it. Let's see this. Pat says Tim K got his wife pregnant. Says he disappeared. Well, I think they got 2 kids. A lot of people say he's best known for being a raging alcoholic who found Jesus. Oh my God. But let's see, what do they say? Trying to see if they say anything. Yeah, I'm not finding anything too much. Says Tim Gay got his wife pregnant and disappeared, came back once then. Yeah, because he has 2 kids. He came back once. Oh, I think he came back more than that because I think he enjoyed, his wife made him a lot of money on YouTube. But I'm not seeing anything. Wait, Philippine Dream. Here's the real Filipino shares what truly matters, love, faith, and family. Okay, what happened to Tim K? This is Brian talking about it. But I don't want to watch an hour's video to try to figure it out. There's a thing about Chrissy K being in America. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. But thank you all for thumbs up, by the way. Appreciate that. No. No, Lily. No, 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 don't eat the toad. No, don't be. You're going to get You're going to get your mouth nasty. Don't do it. Good girl. Lily, we have a toad issue in our house, our neighborhood, my yard. We got a lot of toads. And she likes to dig them up, but she likes to chase them down, but then they foam her mouth. So I'm like, don't do it. I'm going to have to wash your mouth out. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know, man, what the deal is, to be honest. I think there's another Tim K who had brain surgery. Naval Commander Tim K didn't know anything about brain injury or stroke before he suffered his own in 2012. Maybe this is him. So apparently his disability from military was a stroke, I guess. But I don't know. But there is that thing, if you want to know, Flippa, Flippa, is a website where you can sell your YouTube channel, have it evaluated, and sell it. Made easy. That's interesting. I don't know. Well, I agree. Tim K was a liar. I don't doubt that, Pat. I really don't. I know him and Andy Omar got in a pissing contest about the military service. I know that. And um, I think his military, what he was saying about the military was fairly accurate, right? I do. I don't know because I'm not a military person, but I get the feeling from watching some of that years ago that him and Andy Omar was in a pissing contest because Andy Omar was saying that Tim K wasn't in the military or he wasn't this rank or he wasn't that. And they got in a big fight and Tim K proved his military stuff. Then Andy had to come back and say, okay, I admit I was wrong about his military, but he's still a dick. So, but I don't even know what happened to Andy Omar. Is he still, is Andy Omar still out there YouTubing? He was one of the ones that was always trying to criticize and attack people, channels to get famous, is what his thing was. So we know that. Um, it doesn't look like Andy Omar's channel is active either. There's a lot of people talking shit about him, which is okay, but there doesn't seem to be anything. And the other guy that I thought was weird, I don't know if you guys knew him. Where did he go? Here he is. Dang it, I lost his name. Give me a second. Where did his name go? Hang on. He seemed to like to do nothing but fight. Oh, the Gary Martin Show. You guys know who Gary Martin is in his show? He was doing like live streams from America every Sunday morning where he was just ripping the people in the Philippines and Australia. He seemed to be in a constant fight with some YouTubers from Australia and YouTubers from the Philippines, even though he didn't really do anything but fight, is what I got from it. He didn't do anything but fight, and bitch and complain and make fun of other YouTubers, even though he really didn't do YouTubing. And he was a blast from the past, yes. Sounds like Tim K. His son not talking and he has no father bond. That's what it is. Oh, I believe that. It wouldn't surprise me if Tim K abandoned his kids. I don't think he's a good guy. I really don't. I don't want that to happen, but it just wouldn't surprise me because I don't feel like, and I don't know him, so I am passing judgment on somebody I don't know, never met, but just from watching his own behavior, I don't get a good vibe from him. I just don't. I don't get a good vibe from this Gary Martin guy because all he did was fight with all these other YouTubers. He seemed like a decent guy except for the fact that he fought with everybody. I didn't like Andy Omar. Let's see. At least my YouTube channel is showing up when I'm searching about the Philippines. Look, my YouTube channel is showing. Man, I'm a big timer. Wow. How about that? All these gigantic channels. The Filipina Swiss channel, I've never heard of that one. I might have to check them out. Let's see what else we got. Every Man Has a Stories YouTube channel is pretty big now, I guess, right? 91,000. Yeah, he has a big channel. Mark Thornton, a Filipino Moments podcast. Boss Hogg's main supporter convinced Krim, whoever never to be. Yes. Yeah, that was one of the guys that he fought about or bitched about, right? Was Boss Hogg. Because Boss Hogg, I didn't pay enough attention to it But was Boss Hog the one who was living in the Philippines, the pig raiser guy that always had problems? Or was he the Australian? There's a lot of Boss Hog channels out there, I guess. But I remember that Gary Martin guy. I don't know if he still does it, but on Sunday mornings he would have a very large bitch section. Oh, here it is. Yeah, he was. Oh, that's funny. Exposing expat scammers in the Philippines is the channel. Has a video that says Boss Hog is the most disliked YouTuber in Bowl. That's funny. So apparently he pissed some people off. Exposing scammers in the Philippines really has an issue with Boss Hog. Man, they have big issues, right? The Miracle Man, his wife, gas, survival, brain cancer, stage 3 for 7 years, says it all? Yes. Scammers. So I see a lot of videos talking about Boss Hog, but I don't see his channel anymore. So it doesn't come up in the search, his channel. Just videos about his channel. But I never liked this guy either. I watched him a few times and it just wasn't my vibe. You know what I mean? It just wasn't what I liked. So, Miracle Man, is that a channel? Let me try that. Well, I guess my channel is just not big enough to catch any shit from anybody, right? So, a Miracle Man. Couple of channels out there. One has 10,000 subscribers, one has 51 subscribers, one has 8 subscribers. I don't know, man. A foreigner farming in the Philippines? Yeah, I never liked him either. I think him and Clarence or something like that, that guy, you know, that old guy. Yeah, I didn't like that. And oh, there's Sick Grandpa. You guys remember Sick Grandpa? He tried to be a troll and never really went anywhere. Wasn't very successful. Wait a minute. Craig? Oh, okay. Okay, so they're the same channel. Oh, I got you because I was saying, man, he looks like the exact same damn guy. All right, Craig, I get it. I get it now. You know, I'm slow on the uptake. Okay, a foreigner farming in the Philippines. I got you. He's 42,000 subscribers, though. Holy shit. I'm not subscribed to him. Wow. All right. Okay, yeah, I get it now. That's crazy. But I can't think of the other. Can you guys think of the other old guy? He was British, then he lived in America, and he was the one that bought the Ford Raptor, and people got mad out because they gave a bunch of money, and they sent a whole bunch of like buy-on boxes. He was, you know, soliciting, trying to be a charity, and the government denied him the right to be a charity. and he collected all of his money and stuff, and somehow he said he was going to build some houses and give them away, but he turned into a landlord. He allowed people to rent them, but subscribers. Terrence, that was his name, Dennis. Thank you. Terrence was his name. Yeah, you guys remember? Is he still alive and kicking? Is he still doing this? That's him. Oh, he changed his channel name, or no? Okay. He's a foreigner in the Philippines. Terrence, that's right. So he's got 266,000 subscribers. Holy shit. He must be raking in the money, man. $266,000 subscribers. So, foreign in the Philippines, clearance taught boss ran the baby faith scam together. Yes. And there definitely is a scam going on. A lot of these guys are trying to have it, and I'm not, let me just clarify what I mean, is a lot of these guys are getting the females pregnant because they collect more and more Social Security. And so they're okay if the woman has a bunch of babies of theirs because they're getting, government surplus or Social Security from their home countries. And they do it intentionally. Yeah, he's active. His channel's still active. Yeah, I see that he was active a day ago. So, demolishing our house. Visiting an abandoned farmhouse. But, man, I can't believe he has that much subscribers. 266,000. Holy crap. I'm not subscribed to him either. I used to watch him, but I got the feeling that he was a hustler. You know what I mean? I didn't get a good vibe. Scott, the expat in the Philippines, how are you? Good morning to you, sir. So I didn't get a good vibe from a foreigner in the Philippines. I watched him a bunch, and it just seemed to me that he was a good talker. He speaks very well, but it just seemed like he was a hustler. I don't know what do you guys like him? Is it a good channel or not? But having 266,000 subscribers, he must be doing something right. Everybody's a hello to Scott. It's early morning in the Philippines, Scott. I know it is. It's starting to get late here in America. Hello, Scott from Pat. So, the landscape of the YouTube and the Philippines is shifting, but there's still some holdouts. Scott saying hello to you, Pat. The question is Ned, My Philippine Dreams, or Philippine Dreams, still doing it? Let's see if My Philippine Dreams, Ned, Philippine Dreams is what he calls it now. I'm trying to see 5 years ago when he was last active. There's a video from a year ago where his wife Chiche is learning how to drive in America. A year ago. I don't see anything in the past year. Or look, maybe she's driving in the Philippines. I'm not for sure. I used to watch Ned's channel. I like Ned. I thought Ned was good. I like Ned. I think he was honest in what he said and talked about. So I think he was working it, but I don't think he was hustling. He wasn't lying to people. You know what I mean? He wasn't about drama. He wasn't getting involved in the pissing contest and stuff like that. and running their mouths about things. So if you guys didn't do a thumbs up yet, please do that. Thank y'all for that. So I like Ned's channel, but it doesn't look like he's active right now. Uh-oh. Scott says, Manganda Umaga David. Now, Scott, do you really think I know what that means? Yeah, Mike died of a heart attack. Yeah, Mike was a good guy. I remember watching him too. He died the first year I was doing that. Scott says, I helped Terrence and Beth with Baby Faith. Wow, did you really? Raising money for Baby Faith? Dennis, thanks for the comment. It says, the Australian leader, Craig. Dennis is watching some of Craig's stuff. I hope everybody's watching Craig's stuff. Yeah, I didn't ever really get involved in that, Scott. Do you feel good about it or bad about it? I don't know what happened with the Baby Faith thing. Maybe I'll Google it. They are all good, Terrence and Beth. Okay. I know they got a lot of heat about the charity thing and stuff like that. So, but he's a very good public speaker. Let me get back here. Man, I got a lot of things open here. Man. A lot of things open. All right. They are very good. Okay, so Craig, all right. I'll cut him some break. I don't know him that well. I just used to watch him, and I just kind of got a feeling that he was, a little, hustler, a little bit. But I remember watching the one where he talked about his life story and things like that. So, okay, so Dennis says Baby Faith thing was legit, and you still talk to the mother. I'm gonna have to Google the Baby Faith thing, because I don't know anything about the Baby Faith thing. Sarcasm good at what they do. Okay. So I'm picturing that Baby Faith was probably a baby that was injured or sick, and they try to raise money to help the mother and Baby Faith. Is that kind of what happened? Scott says, I was with them and helped Baby Faith and her mom. It was sad seeing a young baby go through so much pain every day. Dennis says, I actually set up a fund to assist in the baby's operation. Wow. So let me ask, is the baby alive? Because, I don't know anything. Is the baby alive today, or did the baby pass away? Yeah, I must have missed all of that. How long ago was all of that? Because I truly know nothing about any of that. But I'll go back on his channel and study some of that. But I think it's good to help the kids. I do. You know that. I'm a big supporter of that. So if we can help, because, the medical stuff, I can tell you a quick story about ours. Oh. Okay, Dennis. Marisol and the family, the baby died when I kind of remember something about that. And Scott saying the baby passed away 4 years ago. Wow. No, that's crazy. One of the interesting things that we've gone through, Lorelai had a cousin last year who got married, and the wife was pregnant, right? And her male cousin, got sick and died about 3 weeks before the baby was born. Man, And right now we're dealing with a situation that Lorelai's aunt, that she really likes and is a good people, married to a German, but they're living in the Philippines, apparently got sick. And this is what I mean. We don't know the whole story because we can't get a straight damn answer. But apparently she went to the hospital, and then all of a sudden, somehow, she's in a coma. But nobody seemed to know why, how, what, when, or where. And so we found out today that they are finally going to move her to ICU to where she could get medical treatment, because we got a picture of her laying in a hallway. You know, it's so frustrating. It was hard on Mars. Oh, I bet it was. You actually chatted with her today? Nice. How's she doing? How's the mother doing? Her dad died a month ago. Man, that's crazy. And Lorelai, I'll tell you, right now she's freaking out because she's had 3 cousins in the last 2 years pass away, her age. Her mother didn't live past her age. Now her aunt, who is the oldest living one, and their family is dying. You know, so Lorelai's in this weird funk where, you know, she's kind of doing the, oh my God thing. Scott said, sorry to hear that the daddy passed away, Dennis. Man, that's always sad. It's tough. All that nasty oil, it could be. But Lorelai's had 3 cousins in the last couple of years pass, young, that if they were in anywhere else, they would have survived. I believe that. And now that her aunt is dying, you know, I'm going to tell you another story, and this may, you know, this really pisses me off about Lorelai's situation. Because we may have to break open the wallet and send her to the Philippines, either for the funeral or to help out. I've told her right now, until you get more information, we don't know what to do. Dennis says, thank you, Scotty. Harder on survival. It is. And so we don't know what's happening with her aunt. Why was her aunt not medically treated? I don't know. If she went to the hospital, why aren't they being medically treated? But they got to move her somewhere else so a doctor can figure out what's wrong with her? It's kind of really just weird. I don't know. It's all that oil. I believe it, man. And, well, and her aunt lived in Germany up until 3 years ago. And now her aunt is, you know, I helped Terrence and Beth in the early years around 2008. Okay, nice. So that was way back when he was just kind of getting there, if I remember right. But, well, here's the other thing I'll tell you guys, and I know some of you guys kind of know Lorelai's sister, who's a school teacher here. Well, since the aunt got sick and went into the hospital, guess what happened? Guess what? You guys take a guess that her sister did. Her sister wasn't scheduled to fly back to America for about 20 days. When her aunt got sick and went to the hospital, her sister changed her ticket and came back to America yesterday, because she doesn't want the family expecting her to do anything, look after the aunt, go to the hospital, be a part of it, or give any money. So she changed her airline ticket and flew back to America yesterday. Me too, Scotty, yes. And tile for the church floor, paint the church. Nice, Dennis. That's good. See, they're good people then. It sounds like they're doing the right thing. I know they got a lot of bad press, though. Okay, good. Now, do they ever get their charity legalized? Because I quit watching them, or the last I heard that they got turned down. He was talking about the legal side, that the charity never, the government rejected the charity. Craig says, are you a little bit rich, Dennis? Hey, it's Maria. Hello, Maria. Thank you for the big thumbs up. Appreciate you being here. They were helpful to many people. Nice. That's good. Hello, good evening, morning, everybody. Thank you for coming in, Maria. Thank you for the thumbs up. So now, my wife's sister came back, and so now we're looking at Lorelai having to take an emergency flight to the Philippines. But I told her today, I said, we got to figure out, If you go there, can you be of any assistance? If there's nothing you can do, then there's no reason to go. If you want to fly over for the funeral, I get it. But if all you're going to do is sit there while she's waiting in a coma and dying, that doesn't do any good. Everybody say hello to Maria, please. Scott says, yes, Dennis, I stopped when they decided to help the kids for their school. Okay. CP, rich and Aussie friends. That's right. Craig's the rich one. Hi, Maria. Pat says, okie dokie. So that's what we're going through right now, is the fact that we're just waiting to figure out what's going on. Yes, Scott, it was a lot. It was a lot, yeah. Scott, expat in the Philippines. Craig, everybody saying hello to Maria, saying hello to everybody. So, Maria, how you been? What's going on in the Philippines for you this morning? So, so I don't know what to do. But I've told Lorelai, I said, I support whatever decision you want to make. If you feel like you need to go back and sit in a chair and do nothing, then go do that. If you want to wait until she passes and go to the funeral, that's fine. If it looks like it's going to be a cluster fuck, because I told Lorelai today, I said, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get to the Philippines, and the people that have been around your aunt, the other cousins that are land grabbing, so to speak, you know how it is, right? What they're going to do, they're going to be pissed at you because you're going to fly in, and they're going to say, well, you can't tell us what to do. You can't say this. You can't do that because you aren't around here. So you weren't taking care of her. You don't know. So you have no say in any of it. But please give us your money. Scott says, I put it this way. If people can afford to send kids to school, they don't need help with those who cannot find. But we have our own families to go. I agree. I agree. Scott said hello to you, Maria. Maria has a good channel. She's back active. So, but I told her, I said, you got to really think about if the aunt dies and you want to go for the funeral and you want to hang out and try to help the uncle readjust, then it's okay. But you're going to have to put up with these people saying you don't have a right to say anything because you're not here. You don't live here anymore. Because all they really want is our money. That's all her family wants. Not the German uncle. He's a good guy. He doesn't, he's not part of that. The aunt's not part of that community. But everybody under there that's still alive, which is not very many, all they care about is us giving them money. And so all they really want as Lorelai to do is to send a big fat check. All right, so you guys have no hard feelings. That's good. And look, whether you like somebody or not, whether you trust, I don't have any hard feelings either about any of these people. I've given money and given money to channels for charity work. We have, Lorelai and I have. We've supported people's charity work. I won't donate to women's channels because it's wrong for a husband to do that. But Lorelai and I have given money to help with different causes. And I know a lot of you guys have helped us help others. But we've done that on our own without anybody knowing. And it winds up that there's some things that maybe we don't like as much or wouldn't have done, but we're not there, so we don't take any hard feelings either. And about it, we just kind of let it go, learn a lesson. If, next time these people, have a crisis or a project, we look at it a little bit harder. And we've learned, who you can trust and who you can't trust. And that's what you have to do. And that's okay. And Lorelai and I do that. We've done that now. It's kind of like last year, I got extremely pissed about the Philippines last year. No, Orleans, I did it out of my heart and would help those who need it, and I would do it again. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Whether here's what I say. If you do something with a good heart, and the end result winds up being a little screwy, that doesn't take away from the fact that you did it with a clean heart, that you did it, and you should understand that. it's kind of like the old saying, we never loan any money that we can't afford. You know that saying? When I loan money, I know I'm never going to see it again. If you expect the money to come, you're going to have hard feelings. If you turn around and say, look, I'm not ever going to see this money again. So when it doesn't come back, I have no hard feelings. Maria's saying hello to Dennis. So it's kind of like today. We had a friend come over and visit us, and he offered us to loan us money so Lorelai could go and do this emergency trip. And I turned him down. But he's like, oh, and he has plenty of money, and he offered because he knows that we're not rich, and he knows it's going to cost a lot of money for her to do this emergency thing and stay there and for 3 weeks, and we're going to lose some wages. And he offered to give us the money, and I told him, look, I really appreciate it, but no, I'm not going to, borrow money. We just can't do it. We just can't do it. So I appreciate the offer, but I can't do that. I can't do that. I will figure it out somehow. If she has to go and do this and stay there for 3 weeks, we will figure it out. We just will. Now, yeah, that's right. The family you have there in the Philippines come first, Scott, and you should, and everybody needs to stick with that. I tell, and we kind of do that. We give a lot of money to the Philippines, but we don't give enough away that is going to hurt us financially. Now, this situation is a little different. We'll have to figure it out. Maria says, I'm just kicking back listening. Well, Maria, I appreciate that, and you're welcome to chime in anytime you want about anything about the Philippines. But this situation, since she's really close to this aunt, because, her mother died young and all of this, if Lorelai needs to go and pay respects, well, then we'll figure it out. But you're talking about emergency ticket, hotel call. I mean, there's a lot of money involved. But he offered, and I told him I appreciate it because I don't borrow money from people. From one, I just don't do it. I don't ask for money. We weren't asking him for money. He just came by for a visit while Lorelai was texting, and Lorelai was a little upset, and he asked what was going on, blah, blah, blah. And I had to tell him, explain to him, well, here's what's going on. We don't know, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, well, I got plenty of money. If you guys want to borrow some so that you can make it all happen, I'm like, look, I really appreciate the thought. I do, and I do appreciate the thought. But no, we're not going to do that. I'm not going to borrow money from you. And I don't want you to give us money either. I didn't want him to give us his money. But, Scott, back to this point, we have to take care of our own first. And you guys have all heard over the years my analogy about this. My analogy is when you're on a plane, what does the people on the plane tell you? In case of an emergency and the oxygen mask drop, you put it on yourself first before you help somebody else with theirs. And that's the way life has to be. And I don't ask for people that give us money. If this is, people say, oh, I wish I could donate to your channel, but. I'm like, there's no but. If you need the money, we don't want your money because you need your money. If Mr. Beast or Elon Musk has that extra $5 million laying around, I'm happy to take it. But I don't want to take a little bit of money from people that struggle. I don't do that. I don't like that. I'm not into that because I don't want people to struggle. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want people giving me money if they can't afford it. That's what it is. They tell you to return the stewardess to the upright position, the original upright position. I got you. Oh, I agree, Craig. I agree. It's an illusion, but that's a good analogy, right? You got to take care of yourself. And so I've told a lot of people, no, I don't want your $10, but thank you for the thought, but it's okay. We don't need it that bad, and and we truly are. Doesn't mean I'm not e-begging for that $5 million because I am, but it's not going to make a big difference for us. So Dennis, and Scotty, I agree. Everybody, you got to take care of your own. If you can do for others when your own is all taken care of. I also believe that you got to think about money long term when it comes to your own and your own family. You can't overextend and help people if you're not set up for the future. So you got to think long term before you give away your money to help other people. Can I truly afford this? Is it really going to hurt me? You know, if I got 3 kids and a wife to take care of, how are we going to be in 6 months, 1 year from now? It's kind of like right now, we're maybe in an emergency situation where I'm going to probably drop $5,000, right? Between airline tickets, hotels, travel home, food, I mean, the money they're going to ask for. Because we know as soon as she lands in the Philippines, the few cousins that are still alive are going to expect Lorelai to buy everything. We know this. So you're talking about running up a good $5,000 bill, you know, and we haven't planned for that, but I planned for other things. So we'll make it happen. I just don't like it and I don't want to do it. But we will figure it out. That's what I told my friend today. I appreciate the offer, but I can handle it. I can figure it out one way or the other. It's okay. So I'm hoping that she doesn't go because I don't want her to be gone for 3 weeks. I don't know. That's going to be kind of weird if my wife disappears for 3 weeks. I may have to do a video blog every day about, you know, life without your wife, you know, type of thing. Might have to do something like that to see how I hold up for 3 weeks. But we all got to take care of our own first. And this is going to be a big dent if it happens in our budget, but we'll be able to figure it out. Here is just a little thought when you run charities. Don't show what you bought to help you out going from A to B in the jungle of Bohol. It's not wise, and those who are with charity start to. I agree. And I think with Terrence, didn't that come up with that brand new truck that he bought? Didn't people get mad? And then I thought people got mad because they found out that they had stacks of Balic Bion boxes that people donated that was never even opened. I don't know. I wasn't there. But I read some of that or saw some of that on the internet. Seen some nice houses in the Philippines. Yeah, there's some nice places. It can be, Cebu City is expensive to live. I'll tell you, Pat. Cebu City is not cheap. I mean, we were looking at houses there, and I'm just like, this is crazy. This is going to cost me what I would spend in America for a row house. But in America, I could buy a house with a yard with more square footage. So in the Cebu City, man, it was not cheap. It is not cheap. You got to get out in the provinces to where it becomes cheaper. So just keep that in mind. The cities are not cheap. Yeah, I don't know. We try to do the best we can, and that's all we can do. My dog's found another toad. Lily's getting excited. She found a toad. Her big ass butt's wiggling. You know, her tail going back and forth. Her butt is all excited. You know, oh, there she moved. That's funny. So that's what my suggestion is. So Scott, I think you're right about all of that. You know, I helped Jack out a little bit, and that didn't do any good. So you got to realize that sometimes your help isn't helping. Sometimes the best way to help is not to help at all. Whether the charity money goes into the truck, but we also have to think of the inheritance. Keep it out of the eye of those who help your charity. Yeah? Well, you know, there's a lot of scammers out there, basically. And what they do is they skim off the top, right? You know, we're going to raise funds for this charity, but well, in America, they take like 90%. Like Red Cross takes 90%. You know, but individuals may do the skimming where they go, well, you know, look, I raised $1,000, so I'm going to keep a couple hundred of it. And then we'll trickle down the rest. You know, well, we got a whole bunch of donations sent to us, so I'm going to go through them and take what I want, then I'll give out the rest. So humans are just that way, and that's what we have to understand. If we're empowering somebody, hoping that they're going to absolutely do the right thing, we got to trust that. And some of you guys have trusted us, Lorelai and I hope that we've exhibited where the money went. I hope you guys recognize that every penny anybody's ever given us for the little causes that we've done got there. Uh, we don't skim off the top. But a lot of people skim off the top because they think, well, I do all the work. Shouldn't I get paid? Well, not if it's charity. Charity is, charity. You shouldn't get paid for doing charity work. That doesn't make any sense, right? Then it's not charity, it's a job. Your job is fundraising. I mean, when I taught at the college, we had people whose their job was do nothing but go out there and raise funds. We paid them $50, $60, $70,000 a year to go out and get money. That was their job. And they got paid for it. So, you got to figure out whether these local charities are real charities or if it's like a business, like I said. So, I don't know. Scott says, me, I don't complain how it is in the Philippines. It's not expensive here. I agree. In America and England, it's just the Philippines. Not expensive. I would live there in a heartbeat. Okay. Yeah, I agree. It's getting more expensive in the Philippines by far. It just is, especially in Cebu. Prices are going up. But it's still cheaper than what we're used to over here in the States, without question. It's still cheaper. I agree with you. I agree. I was just literally shocked how much they wanted for these houses in Cebu City. It's like, holy shit. You're talking about a house that has 1,000 square feet and you want $225,000? You're up your bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. I'm not paying that. Absolutely not. And they said it wasn't the white tax, but who knows? And I agree with you. It doesn't really do any good to complain, but as long as you recognize what's going on and you're able and you're good with it, that's all that matters. I tell people all the time, my philosophy is, no matter what situation you get in, you just have to be good with it. If it's okay for you, no matter what anybody else thinks or feels, then that's all that's important. It has to be okay with you. I tell people, like, my personality, I get bored extremely easy. So sitting around in the Philippines doing nothing was the wrong thing for us. We should have bought a business. We should have bought a resort, which we looked at, but we didn't do it. But we should have bought a resort. It gave me something to do. Sitting around doing nothing didn't work for me. For a lot of guys, who, especially the drinkers, the heavy drinkers, they like to go to the Philippines and sit around and get drunk all the time and drink. And that works for them. It just doesn't work for me because I'm not a heavy drinker. If I ran a charity, I would give it to those who I am running it for, David. I have enough and live comfortably. Yeah, I agree. I think you're doing well, Scotty. I really do. Yeah, who you're collecting it from, or for, not from, but for. If it's like what we did with the rice and the school supplies, right? We made sure that every penny, every object went to the people that we had planned it to go to. Nobody got a cut of the cheese. Everybody, it went where it is. And that's the right way to do it. It is. It is. And I think, yeah, I'm sure you would be somebody who would make sure that 100% went to the designated people and or whatever it was. Whether you're raising money to build a bridge, I know you would do that, and I know that. And I think everybody knows that about you, that you're a good guy and that you don't do the wrong things. We all know that, Scotty. We do. We do. And that's the key. It's like so many people living in the Philippines, expats, they like it because they can live comfortably and not stress. And that's a good thing to be. The money wasn't an issue for us living in the Philippines. It was when we got wiped out by, Typhoon Odette. And I wasn't healthy enough. I had a lot of health issues, especially after Odette, living in the heat with no power, no water, and all of that. My body wasn't conducive to boondocking it. So, yep, it's for those who are hard done by. Yeah, and that's what we've done. It's like the school supplies. They figured it all out. They got the children's names. They evaluated what children's needed what. The fact that these families truly were in need. And that's how we did that. Pat says, I can't drink a lot in the Philippines. Body can't handle the pressure on the heart. I agree with that. Don't drink if you have a big heart problem. I'd rather drink 2 beers, a small glasses of bourbon, Jack. Wow. Jack and Coke, are you? There you go. Yeah, I think for me, there's a lot of us that don't have a drinking problem, right? And what I'm saying is there are a lot of people like Jack, right? You guys all know who Jack was or is, who's just a full-blown alcoholic, and they can't get a handle on it. I was always told to help those in need, but you do things to help those less fortunate. I agree. Here's my philosophy, and here's what I use. Here's what I say. I refuse to give a hand out, but at any moment's time, I am willing to give a hand up. But I won't give a hand out, but I'll give a hand up. And that's always been my philosophy in my entire life. I'm going to help you up, but I'm not going to give you a handout. Pat doesn't drink a lot. That's good. Everyone should have a rapture or a resort. There you go. You got to have something to do, right? But in all seriousness, we looked at buying a beach resort up in northern Cebu. And whatever reason, we just didn't do it. I don't know. But it would have been much better for us if we would have done that. We'd still probably be there without any problems. Because I literally sat there with no, boondocking it, bored shitless for 6 months because of the Typhoon Odette. So, and it got a little frustrating that everybody, I got to admit, it was frustrating that everybody had their hands open expecting, a gigantic cash flow coming their way. But, Rapture, I don't know if I would have bought at least that's the one thing I'm smart enough. If I was living in the Philippines, I would not buy a brand new vehicle. I think buying a brand new vehicle is silly in the Philippines. Just get a multi-cab, because you're going to beat it up, tear it up. You can fix it easily. Just get something that's practical that you don't waste a bunch of money on. Even in America, the stupidest thing you can do is have a $100,000 truck out in your driveway. That's just stupid. That's why I got a $8,000 or $10,000 truck out in my driveway versus, a $100,000 truck or an $80,000, whatever they cost these days. But it's all crazy. It's all crazy. But everybody just needs to do what they feel good about and keep doing that. And I think that will keep us in good standing with ourselves. Because we, at the end of the day, as each individuals, have to feel good about what we do or what we choose not to do. Period. I was telling you, it really pissed me off last year or the year before when one of the family members in the Philippines was sick. And I can't remember because my brain is squishy, right? So I got squishy brain from the coma. But I can't remember. But here's what I remember. We sent money. Here we are. We got to go send money to save the day because grandma died again after her 12th time of the year type of thing. And what pissed me off, and I raised every living hell about, the person was in the hospital. We sent money to take care of the hospital. Well, they sent Lorelei, stupidly, pictures of them standing around the person in the hospital bed, flashing the cash, and being all excited about having all of this money, and then sent her pictures about how they went and had a party, a funeral party for the person with my money. Pissed me off. Boy, let me tell you, I ripped an ever-loving fucking heart attack. I'm like, you didn't win the freaking lottery because I sent money for medical bills, But they were acting like they won the damn lottery, and it pissed me off to no end. And I told Lorelei after that, we're not sending anybody in the Philippines, your family, any damn money. I am not doing that. They're flashing the cash like they just won the jackpot at the damn casino. And here they are. They brought food in, drinking and partying on the money that we sent. What about the freaking medical bills? Pay a better doctor. It pissed me off. It still pisses me off. So, Scott says, yeah, I agree, Craig. But when it comes to running a charity, no buy it for the charity as a business and claim it for the charity, the running costs and everything that. Yeah, I agree. It's not cool to buy a Lamborghini. If I had a charity, it's not cool for me to drive up in the Lamborghini and say, no, this belongs to the charity. The charity pays for the car, pays for the gas, pays the insurance, and I just happen to drive it. Well, and that's why we do give money, but we don't give money to her family anymore. Is what we don't do because they piss me off so bad. And that is fair, Pat, and Scott's right. I think you got to be careful who you give money to anywhere, including the United States. When I'm just picking on the Philippines, you got to be fair. I mean, we help people. We give a helping hand up in America. We do. A lot of people don't know that, but we do. But we're careful. We vet them. But more, let me tell you, the thought that they were begging us to send money to pay the damn medical bills, then here they are flashing the cash like they won the lottery and buying booze and food and having a good time while that person's laying there dying. Ah, piss me off. It's cool, Scott. Different opinions, but at least I can discuss things here without abuse. Everyone is different and nothing really matters. Yeah, and that's one thing I want all of you guys to know, and I hope you know, on our channel, I think everybody's opinion has value because that's how we learn by discussing things. It's a teaching moment. Since I can't teach college anymore, I look at this as a classroom setting. You can have your own opinion about anything, you can discuss your opinion, and nobody has a right to tell you that you're wrong. And that's what we do here. I may not agree with a lot of things, but that's okay. I want what we do on this channel, to be that way. I don't want anybody to be attacked for their beliefs, their thoughts, their processes at all. Everybody is right and everybody's wrong. So I hope, Craig, thank you for thinking my venue is an okay place to be that way. And I hope everybody sees it that way. Yes, we can help. Yes, we are. We help our family. That's right. That's right. Yeah. So, yeah, I hope everybody gets it that I may have my own opinions, and I may bitch and moan a lot, and I may run at the mouth a lot, but you can do the same. You can do the same, and no harm, no foul. I'm still going to like you tomorrow. That's all we do with our family, but when you marry David, a family member, well, I don't disagree with that. That you do marry in the family. But I wouldn't tolerate my brother doing that. Okay? If my niece did that here in America, I wouldn't tolerate that either. So I don't care if it's in the Philippines or America. I wouldn't tolerate that. My hard-earned money, when I say, here's what you do with it, then you better freaking do it. Don't ask me. Because I'm one of these weird ass people that if my lawn mowing guy says I'm going to be here on Wednesday and he doesn't show up, it pisses me off. I'm one of these weird guys that says that if you're going to be somewhere at 10 a.m. and you're not there at 10 a.m., it pisses me off. Because I think it's rude and disrespectful. And money's hard to come by in America. And we're always happy to do our share. Look, I've given over 25,000 USD to Lorelei's family since meeting them. $25,000 USD between money, equipment, a car, a multi-cab. We've given it. So for them having flashing the cash like they won the effing lottery, having a freaking party on my money, kiss my ass. So, gotta go. I have a live on this Saturday night. All is welcome. Thank you, Scotty. Good to see you. I'm glad you're doing well in the Philippines. You're having a good time. And we'll try to find you Saturday. You're going to do Saturday morning? Are you doing Saturday morning in the Philippines or Saturday night in the Philippines? Which are you doing, Scotty? Craig says, oh man, you got away cheap. It doesn't feel cheap, Craig. It doesn't feel cheap. Scott says, bye, Pat, Maria, Craig, and everybody else. Scotty, we appreciate you. See ya. Take care, buddy. I give you a shirt off my back like the other stuff. Yeah, I'll give you the shirt off my back, but if you turn around and sell it to somebody else, I'm going to kick your ass. So there's a big difference, you know? And I had friends that I looked after for years, an older couple that older than me when I was growing up, and you know, and I took care of them. But when they started getting, when they would be in need, and then they would turn around and give that to somebody else, their son who didn't work, no, I cut them off. Hi, it's Maria, Scott Expat in the Philippines. Good to see you. Thank you. Appreciate you. So I don't know, Maria's in the Philippines and she's Filipina. What do you think about any of this, Maria? Do you think I'm off my rocker for getting pissed off because they had a party splashing the money around like they won the lottery? You know, I have a real problem. If I give you something to do A and you do C with it, that's going to piss me off. So, you know, and if I give you the shirt off my back and you turn around and sell it, well, F you, you know. So, Pat agrees with me. Hey, it's Maria. Pat, just here. I know, but you're a Filipina. I would love to hear your opinion about things. I'm all into that. So, and maybe I'm off my rocker. It's like, look, my lawn mowing guy says I'm going to be here on Wednesdays. Then by God, you better be here on Wednesdays. You know, period. If you're not going to be here, you better let me know that you're not going to be here. Then it's okay. But if you just don't show up, you're going to piss me off. No call, no show is not okay. Craig is the only one I don't support is a nephew I caught stealing from my suitcase while I was sleeping. Wow. That's crazy, Craig. Now look, part of what has happened in our little family world is Lorelai's sister, who's a teacher in America now, has dictated that her children, Lorelai's nieces and nephews, who she helped raise and who we gave a lot of money and support to over the years, that they can't talk to Lorelai anymore. Because Lorelai's encouraging them to become nurses and come to America. And her sister don't want them to do that. She wants them to become teachers and come to America, make a bunch of money so she can sit at home and do nothing, and they will support their mother. And they can't stay here as a teacher. They can only stay here as a nurse. So Lorelai hasn't been able to talk to her nieces and nephews because of her sister for about 2 years now. Pisses me off, you know. 12 a.m. Australian time, 9 p.m. Philippines time. That's going into Sunday morning, David. All right. I'll try to get up early and see if I can catch you. I will. If not, I'll try to watch the replay. But I'll try to get up and catch you. So we, that's just kind of like, you know. So here's what we've done. I have a plan for my wife. I'll tell you guys. My wife has no real family here, but she has a friend in the Philippines. You guys have all met her and seen her. Her name's Karen. Appreciate you, Scott. And so she has a friend. And what I've agreed to do with Lorelai is that, okay, fine. So I need Lorelai to have family here in America. I need her to have a good reason to want to live and stay here. And what I like is this. So I've told her, okay, her name's Carla. The daughter's name is Carla. I think she's a teenager now. I said, we will pay for her to go to college if they want. We're not making them, but if they want. We're going to pay for the girl to go to college to become a nurse. And then she will work her way over to America, passing the test and getting all the requirements. We'll help her with all that. But we will pay for the education 100%. The daughter can come over as a permanent resident, become a citizen as a nurse, and then she can bring her mom and her sister over to America. And since they're like family to Lorelai, Lorelai will have somebody here. So I have a plan to have Lorelai have a family. Because right now, Lorelai really doesn't have a family, right? So I'm trying to figure out how to get her a family. Scotty says, okay, mate, all's good by all. All right. We appreciate you, Scott. We do. I'm glad things are going well. You know how much I appreciate you and admire you. So you hang in there. I will do the like thumbs up after your live is finished, David. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. Much respect, my friend. Much respect. So he's a great guy, by the way. Great family man. If you guys didn't know. So good guy. Cares about his family deeply, 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 deeply. So that's what I have to do. I have to figure out a way to get Lorelai another family. I do. Because the odds are that we're not going to go back to the Philippines to retire and live. We're not going to do it. We're going to stay in America. I have health issues that won't be resolved in the Philippines. Lorelai, her family has a medical history of struggling with their health, of diabetes and all of this. So she's better served in America and medical. And I don't know how much longer I will live. So I am putting a plan in place so that Lorelai can have family here. Because Karen's like family. Her kids are like family. Well, great. If we can get them here in America and they can come live by Lorelai, then they can all take care of each other. You know what I mean? Lorelai will have a buddy that, one, she doesn't got to take me shopping. She could go shopping with her friend. But now we are 10 years away from this because the educational process. But that's what my plan is. I have a plan. We also have a plan with a couple here that are Filipino, but they're U.S. citizens. Well, they will be. He is, but she is. And they're the ones, my friends, the Giovannis, who are going to have a baby in the spring. They're close to us. I have a plan to make sure that we stay close to this couple and their baby. Because then Lorelai, once again, will have a network when I die, because she's going to need it. And if she can be a part of this baby's life and their life, and then I'm trying to build her a makeshift family in America, is what I am doing. Maria says, my little sister married to an American and my mom has an American BF. Nice. And honestly, we don't ask money to them. Good. Because we can make our own money and work. My family members are into the affiliated world here. No, and look, what I'll say about this is, there's a lot of people that are just like you. You know, when I met my wife, she never asked me for a dime. She had a job, and I told her to quit her job so that we could work on the K-1 visa process. And I gave her the money to live on, but she never asked for a dime. So there's a lot of people like that. But no matter what country, you're going to find the people that take advantage of people. You know, the ones that are hustling people. And that happens all the time. And she has family members that way. Her sister was perfectly happy to take all this money we gave them for the years, you know, and helped her get to America to be a teacher. And when she got to America, we're the ones that got her a phone, bought her food, paid for things to get her set up until she got her first paycheck. But now, can't talk to the kids. The kids are banned from talking to you. You know? So there are scammers and hustlers, but there are really good people out there too. We know a lot of good Filipinos and Filipinas, and we also know some that are just downright scammers. And that's just kind of the way it is. And it's the way in America. America's the same way. Don't get me wrong about the Philippines. I got a niece that when I was in a coma, came to my wife, while my wife's sitting next to my deathbed, and tried to get her to write a check for $5,000. Said, oh, I'll pay you back in a few weeks. That girl never paid anything back to anybody. And luckily, our friend who is here today, you know, I guess interjected and said, you know, this really isn't the time to be, you know, look. And so Lorelai said no. So, but she tried to, you know, I'm on my deathbed, and they all knew. My family all knew because I told them when I married Lorelai, they were mad. Lorelai's a gold digger. They're going to take all of our inheritance. And I told them, you don't understand. You guys are never getting any of my money. You are never getting an inheritance from me. Never, ever, period. None of it. It was all going to scholarships. It was never coming to you in the first place. So Lorelai didn't take anything from you. Now she gets everything, period. But this niece of mine thought that she could sneak in and grab 5,000 bucks while I was dying because, and they also had started planning on who was going to get my shit, who was going to get all of my stuff. You know, it was horrible. Yep, some really take advantage, Craig. We still send 37,000 pesos a month. Wow, that's crazy. That's definitely good living for them. I agree with that. So, wow, it's crazy. I don't know. And everybody needs to do what everybody wants to do. If it makes you, if it feels right, Craig, then do it. You know, if you trust what they're doing with the money is okay with you, then I'm good with that. You know, I never felt, I felt really good about all the things we did for the kids, the nieces and the nephews. I didn't mind buying school supplies, beds, clothing. You know, we funded the children. And when the twins were born, we paid the medical bill because the sister, they didn't have any money to pay the medical bill. We paid it. The sister lied to us and said, oh, the medical bill is $2,500 when it was really $1,500 so that she could get an extra $1,000. And her whole thing was, well, I'll eventually give it back to you anyway. So what does it matter if it's 1,500 or 2,500? Someday I'm going to pay you back. You know, it is nice of Craig. Just giving up her money, do what she wants. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. So, and I got mad about the twin things when I found out that her sister lied to us. Because I'm like, look, I didn't get her pregnant. Those kids are not my responsibility. It's not my responsibility. And she never paid us the $1,500 back. We never got it back. So, you know, but the thought of trying to steal from me pissed me off. I don't like it. A lot of ranting and raving. And when the Typhoon Odette hit, right, we'd only been in the Philippines about a month. Typhoon Odette hit, wiped us out, kicked our ass. We were not prepared for it in any way, shape, or form, right? Totally. We're only been in the Philippines a month. The sister comes over with the husband the next day after they could get, maybe it was the day after, 2 days after. And I thought, oh, how nice. They're coming over to check on us. No, they came over to get us to give them money. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, wait a minute. I'm new into this country. We have no power, no water. You know, we're sleeping in the damn mosquitoes. You know, we're struggling here. We don't know anything. And yet, but you're here asking me to give you money. Oh, it pissed me off. Oh, that was a straw that, oh man, I was so pissed. It was unbelievable. If I have a Filipino, I will go to my son and wife. There you go. That's it. So, you know, but so that really, really made me mad. And I don't know. Maybe I'm just an asshole. Maybe I'm not a nice guy. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I'm wrong, but and maybe I'm not right. I don't know. Because the big thing, uh, side hustle, David, yeah, good job. Yeah, I know. I saw that. Affiliated marketing. We have people reaching out to us about affiliated marketing too. And I'm looking into that. I got some offers on the table for it. I really haven't bit because I don't know how much work is involved, to be honest, how hard it is. But I do have some offers, people reaching out. We do get a lot of products to review, and then I flip those. I sell them on Facebook. So we get a lot of companies that watch our YouTube channel and go, hey, we'd really like, whether you do a video or not, it doesn't matter. We would just like for you to review our product and let us know what you think. And sometimes it's Amazon reviews, and sometimes it's just, hey, we saw that you had a dog. We have some new collars that we're testing out. Would you guys check them out? Okay. Sometimes it's Amazon. We have people reach out to it and say, hey, we'd really like for you to give us an Amazon review about our product. So they'll send us the product, and after I'm done reviewing it, I just put it on Facebook and sell it because I don't want it. We've done that a lot, but the affiliated marketing thing, we definitely need to look into it a little bit more and understand it. So, but I don't have a good understanding of it right now, Craig, to be honest. I don't know how much work is involved. So, let me see. Is that what Maria's talking about? Yeah, into the affiliate marketing world. Yeah. So I need to learn more about that because it would be a good side hustle, and I could put it under Lorelei's name. Because legally, in my name, I can't make any more money than I do. We had a coffee company, did review, but only ended up with 300 free cups of coffee. HP, thanks. Yeah. So Maria, if you want to share any advice about how you do marketing, affiliated marketing, I'm always happy to hear. But we get companies. We had somebody reach out to us wanting to do that with dog collars, electric shock dog collars, the other day. And I won't do that. I'm not going to use electric shock on my dogs. Not going to do it. So boom, out there. We have somebody right now that wants us to do a marketing affiliate with a water filtration system, like Brita. So, and I'm talking to them back and forth. And we've had them, we did a little bit with fashionablecanes.com. That's where I got some free canes and made a little bit of money. So, there's a lot of side hustles there. But for me, I got to stick it all on Lorelei's name. I blame it all on Lorelei. Take it out on her taxes. So, but it does help and does work. Well, that's what we do. We get free stuff. I flip it. If I don't want to keep it, I sell it on Facebook. I got like a gigantic dehumidifier on Facebook now. We got it for free. It retails for $250. On Amazon, it's on Facebook for $150. It'll be sold soon. That's kind of what we have to do. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, man, I've been on here forever tonight. So I want to thank you all for coming in. I hope I didn't piss anybody off too much. Charles says he got a new kitten and a cat today. Nice. We haven't decided if we're going to get another dog. We're down to one dog, but I don't think we're going to do that. Maria says, I bought some products, or I have requested free samples to sellers. Then I make videos to promote them on their selling platforms. Yes. And then they give you like a code. They sign a code to you and that you can give out, right? You give the code out, and so you get credit for anybody that buys under a code. All right, guys. Appreciate you. You guys all take care. Everybody remember a thumbs up on your way out. We appreciate you guys. And stay safe, and we'll see you guys hopefully later in the week. Yeah, you get a commission. That's correct. That's what's been offered to us, too, is getting a commission. Take care, everybody. We'll see you another day.